This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and far. I got my boy Tom Ross in the building, man. Tom Ross, what's up, man? Talk to the people, bro.
What's up, man? I'm definitely here to separate the weak from the strong. We got a lot of hot topics. We got a lot of we got a lot of things that are going to be a little edgy, but nevertheless, it's going to be a good session.
That's what's up, man. First thing up, man, we got to talk about it. Gervonta Tank Davis, boxing community fan bases, all of them. Tank is the type of boxer that people love to hate, but they love him at the same time too. And the reason why is, let's just be honest. Gervonta Tank Davis is the best boxer, period, in the game. Let's not kid ourselves. Gervonta Tank Davis is box office. Everything that Gervonta Tank Davis does from a boxing standpoint, it's lights out, man. You know how you used to play Mike Tyson Punch Out?
Mm-hmm.
And when you sit there and you get to certain levels in the fight, you're like, in the video game, you're like, man, this is exciting, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it captivates you. It becomes addictive. That's what Gervonta Tank Davis is at his truest and most properest levels. He's an addictive fighter. And see, this is what makes Gervonta Tank Davis so relatable to everyone. One, he's a hood nigga's dream fashion. Hood niggas come out to see Gervonta Tank Davis. If you can get the hood niggas to come out, you are legit. Hood niggas don't just come out for anybody.
Nah.
Two, the bitches come out for Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis, salute to you, Joseph Self. We said that heat and that far. Salute. Two, Gervonta Tank Davis always have the bitches come out. I mean, they come out in droves because they know what time it is. They know it's going to be sold out. It's going to be a pack arena. It's going to be basically something like we've never seen before. And three, you know, in that fight, there's going to be something dramatic and something explosive that's going to happen with this guy. Now, people want to say Rolly Romero's fight is off. I honestly believe that Ronnie Romero is scared for his life. I think Rolly Romero had one of these petrified and scared moments. I know they're running with the multiple allegations with the sexual assaults and all of that, but I honestly believe that Rolly Romero looked at himself in the mirror and realized after this fight, no one's going to be talking about me. No one's going to be dealing with me. No one's going to want to basically be 2 feet of a pole next to me. Because after this, I'm going to be even worse than Leo Santa Cruz in terms of a highlight reel. And all of that's coming to him. See, at the end of the day, we as men, we have to deal with ourselves. We could put on a face to everyone. We could put on a face to the world. We could tell the world, this is how we are. This is how we want to be perceived. This is how we want you to look at us. But in actuality, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. You got to deal with yourself when it's all said and done. And you know if you're lying to yourself. See, me, I know I'm not lying to myself because when I look at myself in the mirror, the way that I portray myself to you guys is exactly the way that I fucking am behind the fucking closed doors. That's just the way that shit rolls. When it's all said and done, Gervonta Tank Davis has always been who he's been from day one. He's a guy that can look at himself in the mirror and say, I'm not perfect. I've made my mistakes, but look at how I build myself up. This fight come December 5th was going to be a massacre. It was going to be a funeral. We all knew it. And I honestly believe that Rolly Romero, Roly fucking Poly, Rolando Romero had to really have this moment where he was looking at himself and he said, oh shit, I'm actually going to step into the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis. Notice the nickname. It's Tank. That means he literally tanks your ass. And he knows it. Gervonta Tank Davis was going to clown this dude. He probably was just going to every round throw an uppercut. I've seen Gervonta Tank Davis, when I looked at the Jose Pedraza fight, Gervonta Tank Davis so much did not respect this dude that every 30 seconds he was throwing a fucking uppercut. And all he was doing was throwing the uppercut so he could see when that motherfucker was gonna potentially get in position to land. And ironically, what ends up getting Jose Pedraza up out of there? This is how Gervonta Tank Davis operates. This motherfucker has this Floyd Mayweather-ish thing where he's a Mexican assassinator. And a lot of Mexican community fan bases, they hate Gervonta Tank Davis because they know Gervonta Tank Davis is going to assassinate all their Mexican fucking fighters. That's why they keep saying he's fighting a taco stand guy. What you were saying?
It's giving them PTSD of what Floyd did.
Exactly. And that's why they were like, he's fighting a taco stand. These Mexican community fan bases, they have, I don't know if they have you laughing, bro. They be having me laughing because when they joke about themselves, I don't think no one could joke about themselves better than they can.
Nah,
they'll call their own fighters. You know what they call Mario Barrows? That shit was funny as hell, even though Mario Barrows was a champion, just to try to shit on Gervonta Tank Davis. They said, y'all about to laugh in the comment section. They said Mario Barrows was a taco stand food deliverer. I'm like, what the fuck? That's how y'all talk about your own people?
First of all, taco stands don't have deliveries. You get the food right there.
Exactly. So it just didn't make sense when they said that. But he said it, I guess, to try to be funny. But it also shows you how much they really don't care about their own when it's a person they really don't give two flying fucks about.
Their loyalty is not in boxing. It's in their race, and it's in always trying to be better than black people. They don't even want to be better than white people.
Exactly.
They just want to be on even playing field, white people. It's all about them and white people being better than black people.
Exactly. And you know what I find interesting is they hate Gervonta Tank Davis because Gervonta Tank Davis has taken the Floyd Mayweather's recipe, the blueprint. Always put a black person or a black fighter with a Mexican person, a Mexican fighter. That's always going to sell. Mm-hmm. That's smart business right there. When you put them two together, you always going to have a fight. All these motherfuckers that's always talking shit about Gervonta Tank Davis, they always show up. All these motherfuckers that was talking shit about the Rolly Romero fight, they ass would have been there doing fucking lives, running their mouths about the fight. Because let's be honest, you know what separates Gervonta Tank Davis from the other people we're going to talk about, the Devin Haneys of the world and the Claressa Shields of the world, is Gervonta Tank Davis. And we're going to talk about Deontay Wilder too. Gervonta Tank Davis has the right team. In boxing, it's all about the team that you have around you. Mm-hmm. Floyd always talked about that. Before Floyd get into soliloquies where you're going to hear him say at the end of the day, that was one of the sayings you will always hear that motherfucker say at the end of the day. Before he even gets to at the end of the day, in the beginning of the day, he's going to tell you, I had a great team around me. Mm-hmm. He's always going to tell you that. Because what people don't understand is when you have a great foundation and you have a great team around you, it helps amplify you as a great fighter. Because now you can focus on your craft. You don't have to have your mind stuck all over the place, worrying about this, worrying about that. Your mind will be locked into what you're doing and the craft itself. That's why having a great team is essential and it's pivotal. But here's my thing. You see how after the Shakur Stevenson fight, they sat here, Ross, and they basically said, well, Shakur Stevenson called out Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, I had to debunk that shit real quick. That never fucking happened. Shakur Stevenson said that he wants to clean out 130, and he told Oscar Valdez, you better stop ducking me. And last time I checked, Gervonta Tank Davis was focused on Rolly Romero. In so much so, they both got on a live together where they were happy, clowning, having fun, and congratulating each other. Mm-hmm. So why would both of those guys, why would the both of them want to go after each other when in actuality they have mutual respect for one another? And Shakur Stevenson has been able to do what Devin Haney has failed to do with Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson knows that Gervonta Tank Davis is box office. So you know what he would say? He would say out of his mouth, Tom Ross, I'm trying to get where Tank is at. And you know what Shakur said that made me respect Shakur so much? That's why you could tell that Andre Ward molding is so critical for fighters. That Floyd Mayweather molding is so critical for fighters. He said, Tank is just a level above me at this point. And I'm just trying to get where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
I love the honesty. I love the humility. This is the shit that was supposed to come out of Devin Haney's mouth. Devin Haney knows he's not on Gervonta Tank Davis level. He knows he don't belong in the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you running your mouth? And then here's the other caveat, and then I'm going to pass the mic to you. His dad, I don't know if his dad drank the truth serum. I don't know if his dad basically came to a coming of the Jesus moment, but his dad out of his mouth said that Gervonta Tank Davis is the most dangerous fight that's out there. And we know it. We know when we step into the ring with Tank, we know what we're stepping into the ring with. But y'all was talking all this shit, saying that your son will embarrass Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's go back to the sparring. Out of nowhere, y'all came to the epiphany. Y'all came to the conclusion. Maybe it's because y'all saw the way Mario Barrows got knocked out. Maybe y'all saw the way that Leo Santa Cruz is still a meme on Twitter. He's a highlight reel. Maybe y'all saw the fact that Ivan Redkach, a full-fledged 147-pounder. I have to say that again. A full-fledged 147-pounder was running his mouth to Tank. Tank shows up in sparring and knocks this motherfucker out. I think that sent a shockwave to all these lightweights. Like, fuck, this motherfucker got power. And if this motherfucker land on me, it's over. See, I want people to look at the Jorge Linares fight because that's the last fight Devin Haney had. And I want you to visualize this, Tom Ross. Take Jorge Linares' punch out of the way, inserts Gervonta Tank Davis' punch that lands on Devin Haney. What is the outcome of that, bro?
KO. KO, man.
So when it's all said and done, Gervonta Tank Davis is a guy that fight fans should be galvanizing around. Because 1, 2, and 3, he has fulfilled all the roles that you want as fight fans. 1, he's giving you guys excitement. This is what you guys always say. You want to see excitement in fights. You want to see knockouts. He's giving you that. 2, he has a fighting style that fight fans will always know this shit is going to be a thriller in fucking Manila. And 3, he brings everybody to the yard. So what is there to not like about this guy? Why is the hate for Gervonta Tank Davis still there? Ross, I'm going to pass the mic to you, man. Talk to these people, man.
The hate is twofold. It's a natural hate for black fighters in general. And then it's a systematic hate on black on black fighters. And basically these new fighters coming in, they rather be more liked than successful. So they believe the Kool-Aid of the boxing legacy.
Mm-hmm.
They want that Kool-Aid. That is something that's a man-made concept. Like you can't. You can't. There's no value in the boxing legacy. What are you gonna do? You're gonna sell your belts to feed your family.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna sell the Ring magazine champion in 2007 to feed your family. That's a concept to keep people controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So the anti-black boxer business model is to deride them if they make any choice that's better for them than it is for boxing as a whole. And we know what's better for boxing as a whole is non-black fighters being champions. So they want black fighters to splurge their money. They want black fighters to make ill-advised decisions.
Mm-hmm.
They want black fighters to chase undisputed when it's not in their best interest.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to be able to have that carrot dangling out. And by the time you finally get undisputed, you're out of your prime.
Mm-hmm.
And you can no longer function. You can no longer make the money that you would have made
Mm-hmm.
because they dangle this what's the name in front of you, right? That's the reason why there's so many sanctioning bodies just to make it harder to be undisputed. that you're chasing one belt after another belt after another belt, and then making it hard to get this belt. They're going to try to do the same. They're going to try to do what they did to Floyd, to Errol Spence.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you have is you have guys who like Tank, who say, you know what? I'm doing this for a legacy, a real legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And the GOAT, who I believe is the GOAT. And I don't really care too much who get the credit, really, because I'm not the one that they're fighting. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why the LDBC attacks Tank so much, because the LDBC, they really like Tank. They don't like Floyd. The LDBC, if I don't have any proof of this, but I believe they done behind the scenes business with Bob Arum. Out of nowhere, you guys are anti-Floyd and anti-PBC, but pro Bud and pro Bob Arum, and got Bob Arum on your shit doing interviews. Out of nowhere. And if they're doing that just to be doing it, they're even dumber. They're even dumber than I think. Because if you're gonna do it, at least you can do is get paid.
Exactly.
If they're doing that just out of spite, dumber, even bigger slaves. I wholeheartedly believe that, because nothing they do makes sense. You're for Devin Haney, you're for Shakur Stevenson, but you're not for Tank Davis. But Tank Davis is the only one that has the black umbrella, black men doing business together.
Facts.
So basically, you're saying you're against black business.
There you go.
And you're only for black fighters who have white masters. So you're not against fighters who want to be their own masters. Yep. Who's working with advisors. You're for black fighters who are controlled by white men.
Facts.
And those are the guys you get behind.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Those are the guys you get behind. And I have a fundamental problem with that. And I think the biggest hatred is a natural hatred that they always have for black fighters. And then you have a hatred that black men and women have for the unapologetic, successful black men.
Facts.
Because they didn't come up with one in their home. They can't relate to them.
Yep.
They can't relate to any black man who is his own boss.
Facts.
They resent that.
Yep.
And so they resent Errol Spence. They hate Errol Spence. They resent Pink. Yep. They resent Floyd Mayweather Jr. They wait for any little thing to speak about, because when they look at them, they look at all their own failures.
Yep. Whoosh.
When they look at Errol Spence, when they look at Tank, when they look at Floyd, they look at, what did I do wrong? How come I'm not my own boss?
Yep.
And instead of saying, you know what, I had the same 24 hours in a day as these guys did, I need to work a little harder. They say, you know what, something's fishy. This can't be real. Right now, let me talk against this. Because if they're that great and they didn't need a white man, I can't accept that, because that means that I'm not as great as them. So let me talk down on it. You know what I'm saying? The LDBC, from what I see, there are a lot of guys faking black unity shit. There's no black unity in there, man. They're all just black dudes looking for that piece of the pie, looking for a white handout, man.
That's it.
You break down what they're saying, they never come out with powerful statements. They say things that's readily accepted across the whole boxing sphere. They don't never they touch on it, but with their platforms, they should be calling it a spade a spade. Bob Arum's racist, man. This is that third. They say things like, "Hey, it's mighty funny," you know. Like they beat around the bush of what we all know, because they're afraid to piss off these white folks. They're afraid, but they're not afraid to talk down on Al Heyman. Yep. They're not afraid to talk down on Mayweather. Yep. That's where the respect is lost. That's why I always hold a Dante's Boxing Nation higher than them. From the gate, he always just called it how he saw it, for right or wrong, and he held everybody accountable for right or wrong. If he was right or wrong, if he thought something was wrong, he'll speak on it no matter who you were. Yep. But these guys, if you're white or if you're Mexican, you get a little pass.
Yep.
Or if you black and you white owned, you get a pass.
Yep.
But if you black and you self made, you
Mm-hmm.
don't get a pass.
Yep.
And to me, that gotta be the resentment of these guys being their own boss, so you not. That's the only thing that makes sense. There gotta be a resentment there. Because nothing else makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
For people to say Devin Haney could beat Tank Davis,
Mm-hmm.
that's obviously just a plug for Devin Haney, and that's just advertising for Devin Haney. That's
Mm-hmm.
a blatant lie.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that's a lie, even the person saying it. But
Mm-hmm.
they're saying that because they'll be damned if they give Tank Davis any props.
Yep.
He didn't give us no interviews.
Yep.
He hasn't shot us out. So now I ain't gonna give him no props.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is a sad thing about it. They hate on Tank Davis and Errol Spence so hard. They do it to the detriment of their own platforms, man.
Facts.
They were pulling way more traffic if they talked about Errol Spence and Tank Davis
Yep.
than Devin Haney and Bud Crawford.
Yep.
Way more, man. Way more.
Yep.
But that's why I believe they're being paid behind the scenes because nothing else makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else makes sense. For you guys, the LDBC is an all black boxing community, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the all black boxing community is it behind the majority black owned PBC and Mayweather Promotions?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping you? There's something to that, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got on that.
Man, let me address Ronald Finkley because Ronald Finkley is I think he's a cast out LDBC member. So I'm gonna address this. See what people gotta
Ronald
understand.
Finkley, he's one of what's the name disciples? D Sports.
D
What?
Sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the
That's why I'm not surprised.
the
He
dope
said
fan.
he said he said Spence and Tank are holding up boxing at Tom Ross. Al Heyman doesn't own boxing. Okay. I don't understand how that comment is relevant to the topic at hand. How is Errol Spence holding up boxing? Terrence Bud Crawford, when Spence had a car crash. Now we're gonna rewind because we got to break this thing down and we got to make it very clear. When Spence had a car crash, right, and he was basically inactive, Terrence Crawford had an opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao. Did he not?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened with that? That fight didn't happen. He had an opportunity to fight Danny Garcia. That fight didn't happen. He had an opportunity to fight Sean Porter then. That fight didn't happen. So what are we talking about when we say Spence is holding up boxing? That does not make sense to me. And why, if Terrence Bud Crawford has his own footing and if he has his own basically support and popularity, why is Spence always coming out of his mouth? It's because he doesn't stand on his own. He is basically white enslaved owned. Let's just be honest here. If he had the position and the power that a Spence had, let's be honest here. If Terrence Bud Crawford was under PBC and Terrence Bud Crawford was being molded the right way, he would be doing the same thing, if not worse.
And he knows.
And
I think this guy is trolling. I don't think he really.
no. It's fine. It's fine that he's trolling. I just like to give the other side of the argument because a lot of times people want to see things the way that they want to see it. Gervonta Tank Davis holding up boxing. How? He's out there fighting. He's staying busy. You got guys like Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez that should be fighting each other. Did they not confront each other and have a little go back and forth? Why are you as boxing fans, Ronald Finkley, why am I not seeing a comment where you're saying, what the fuck is wrong with Devin Haney? What the fuck is wrong with Teofimo Lopez? And what the fuck is wrong with them not basically trying to go at it and make undisputed at the lightweight division? Gervonta Tank Davis is tired of these lightweights. because these lightweights don't stand on nothing but running their mouths on social media.
Right.
So y'all want to get mad at Tank for constantly staying in the ring, constantly staying busy and fighting while these guys are trying to make up their mind. That's why Tank said, fuck y'all, I'm going to go to 142. And if they bullshit, Tank will fuck around and go to 147 too. And then he'll be going from 35, 40, and 47. We know Tank got 47 power because Ivan Redkach was proof of that. Danny Garcia went tooth and nail with Ivan Redkach, and fucking Gervonta Tank Davis tanked his ass in fucking sparring. So we know Gervonta Tank Davis' ceiling can be at 147. We know that. Spence, I'm going to tell you this, Ronald Finkley, and I'm going to tell all of these Bud Man fans. If Terrence Bud Crawford don't get his shit together, Spence going to fuck around and move to 154. Spence don't need Bud. That's what y'all don't get. Y'all can call Spence a duck. Y'all can say this. Bud needs Spence. That's how it's always been. It's always been that way. Because let me tell you something. There's two fights that Errol Spence have. Once he has these fights, ain't nobody going to be talking about Spence versus Bud. You want to know one of them? When he fights Canelo Alvarez. After that happens, Bud is going to be an after fucking thought. Nobody's going to be thinking about Bud. That's what y'all motherfuckers don't get. And then Spence has other options that's out there at 154. He steps up to 154 and he starts fighting a lion or something like that. Let's say one day Jermell Charlo goes fucking rogue and Spence fights Jermell Charlo. Ain't nobody going to be talking about Bud. That's how Spence has it. Spence ceiling cap can go all the way up to 168. Bud, I'm sorry to tell you guys, his ceiling cap is where it's at 147. So let's not sit here and say that Spence and Tank is holding up boxing. Here's what the fundamental problem is. And Aaron Jones said it because I was just about to say it. They're trying to withhold Spence and Tank from being fucking undisputed because they know those two guys are too fucking talented. Why is the WBA putting all of these clauses in place to stop Spence versus Ugas? We all know Spence versus Ugas has to happen. Because once Spence and Ugas happens, it clears the dust. Spence collects that belt. He becomes lineal champion. And then he tells Terrence Crawford, hey, I want the last fucking belt. Terrence Bud Crawford is supposed to be the last belt. Spence beats the shit out of him and moves up to 154. Spence is not scared of no damn Crawford. I done told y'all Crawford is fucking Tommy Hitman Hearns. This is a Hagler and fucking Hearns scenario. And it's not a coincidence that Tommy Hitman Hearns was in Bud's camp for a number of years. Losers tend to stick together. That's just the way it works. And see,
hold on. He knows. Tommy Hitman Hearns is a great fighter. He lost to Hearns, but he's a great fighter. Him and they not on the same level.
He is, but the comparison that I'm making, he is, but the comparison that I'm making is not that Tommy Hitman Hearns is not great. It's the buzz that was behind it. It's the same thing with Terrence Bud Crawford. You got to look at the simile. Yeah. They said Tommy Hitman Hearns was a better boxer. They said that he was longer. They said that Marvin Hagler has no boxing skills. The same shit they saying with Spence. How is Marvin Hagler going to get around Tommy Hitman Hearns? How's he going to get around his boxing ability? Well, he fucking did. Didn't he punish his ass? He body snatched his ass and got his ass out of there in 5 rounds. It's the same shit they doing with Spence versus Crawford. That's why I liken those examples. Because they try to act like Spence don't got no boxing ability. They try to act like Spence is just going to be there and Bud is just going to do this and do that. Listen.
It's going to be a wash. That's what people not understanding.
Exactly. That's why he told Roy Jones Jr., I'm a wash your boy. Ronald Finkley, I know you're a Bud Man fan, but let me explain something to you. Terrence Bud Crawford got exposed in the Mean Machine fight. See, Bud Man fans, every time you bring up the Mean Machine fight, they get quiet. They get like fucking crickets. They have nothing to say. If Mean Machine can drop Terrence Bud Crawford, let's not even begin in our brains to fathom what a Spence fight looks like. That's a whole different animal. That's a whole different dichotomy in of itself. So let's not sit here and tell ourselves that Errol Spence can't get the job done. Plus, Bud is reckless. Fucking reckless. You hit Bud, Bud goes into this reckless shit of I gotta hit you back. You can't do that shit with Spence. Spence thrives off of punishing boxers that are reckless because Spence is disciplined. Everything that he throws is accurate. Everything that he throws has mean intentions, and everything that he throws doesn't fucking miss. You want to know how? Go look at his CompuBox number. It's the closest we've seen to Floyd Mayweather. Spence is a 48, 49 fucking % accuracy rate. That motherfucker, that means that motherfucker ain't missing shit. So when it's all said and done, let's stop acting like Terrence Bud Crawford is this guy that you guys formulate him to be. Because let's be honest here, Ronald Finkley. Let's be honest here, Budman fans. They don't give a fuck about Terrence Bud Crawford, Tom Ross. They just hate Spence. See, this goes back to Tom Ross's point. The hatred for Errol Spence, the hatred for Gervonta Tank Davis. They do not care about these other guys. They know in their crevice of their soul, Devin Haney does not belong in the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis. They know in the crevice of their souls, Terrence Crawford doesn't belong in the ring with Spence. They just want to see, can this guy be the guy to expose Spence? They don't like that aura. You see, Kobe Bryant in basketball came immediately, right when Jordan was getting ready to go through what we would say dissension. He came in and he was in ascension mode. This was 96. Jordan retired in 98. They didn't expect another guy to come in that fast, right behind the guy. And that's why they didn't accept Kobe Bryant universally immediately. Because they were like, man, fuck him. Right. He can't be that good. Well, it's the same shit with Errol Spence. Boxing fans hated the fact that Floyd was just so dominant above the fray, and he made great fighters look ordinary. Spence shows up towards the tail end of Mayweather's career. It's the same shit. And motherfuckers are like, fuck this guy. This guy cannot be that good. He can't be the fucking truth. And really every time he's fighting, he's revealing he's the fucking truth.
Really what they're saying in their heart is not again.
Yep. Yep.
They said not again, please. Not again. That's what they said.
Yep. Yep. I'm glad you said that. That's exactly what they're saying.
Bud slipping. The Mexican fan base know they could get a fighter in there that's just good enough that could beat Bud.
Yep.
On their best day. But they know they'll never be able to beat Spence.
Yep.
So they do not want Spence to be undisputed.
Exactly.
Unless he promises to move right to 154, they don't want him to be undisputed because he will reign.
Yep.
He will reign. And they don't want no reigning undisputed champion because they only can charge him so much for the belts. It's all business. Let me touch on something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier today, somebody commented on one of my Floyd Mayweather videos. It said Canelo's better than Floyd because Canelo is about to be. They just know he gonna beat Plant. When he beats Plant, he'll be better than Floyd because he'll be undisputed.
Okay, bullshit.
You have to look at how he became undisputed, man.
Mm-hmm.
Canelo has Benavidez' belt, but he didn't fight Benavidez.
Facts.
People understand it's a difference between what happens in boxing in the ring and what happens in politics.
Yep.
Floyd beat 2 undisputed fighters back to back.
Yep.
One was a former undisputed fighter, and one was the actual reigning champion. And he still wasn't crowned undisputed due to boxing politics.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we care more about? What actually happened in the ring or what these white folks call you?
Mm-hmm.
Because they control who become undisputed and who don't.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Zab Judah was undisputed. Was Floyd Mayweather not better than Zab Judah?
Of course.
So are we really gonna sit here and say Floyd wasn't good enough because he didn't become undisputed? Or are we gonna realize there was a system at play to keep him from being undisputed?
Facts. Ooh,
the same system is at play for Tank Davis and Errol Spence.
There you go.
And I would throw what's the name in the mix, but he's in his own way as well.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay Wilder's in his own way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in there for him too. If he get out his own way, they're gonna fuck him too. But all these guys who have the potential to reign supreme and lord over everybody, they don't want them to have the actual title of doing it.
Facts.
So you will have to remember, you will have to tell the story of them, the legend, but you won't have that title to say, man, he was undisputed, case closed. They don't want that. Think about it. Kawasaki became undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even that nice.
But what's his skin color though?
White man.
There you go.
Kawasaki became undisputed, man. How did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't that nice. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't that nice. But he became undisputed. So you gotta understand, undisputed is all wrapped up in who you actually went through to get it.
Exactly.
Think about it, man. To me, Marvin Hagler's undisputed, Sugar Ray Leonard's undisputed. Is more than Kawasaki's. It's more than right. It's even more than Tyson. Because even though Tyson he whooped some ass to get undisputed, but he beat a lot of old fighters too.
Yep.
He beat a lot of old fighters too. And listen, he can only fight who's there. But those are the guys he fought. Now Lennox Lewis had to walk through some fire to get his undisputed.
Yep.
He got it. So it's
and
all about
lineal, and that motherfucker carried the official lineal.
The lineal. So it's all about the fire you had to walk through to get it. So yeah, understand. Floyd beat Zab Judah. Zab Judah was knocking everybody out. And he got outworked by Baltimore. Then Floyd said, okay, I'll beat Baltimore. And beat Baltimore easy. Then they fucked him out of the belt. So he's like, oh, Baltimore didn't pay sanctioning fees. We're sorry. We're going to call you the universally known. We're going to call you the universally recognized welterweight champion instead.
Facts.
Y'all got to stop being so caught up in what these titles these white men give you, man. At the end of the day, when Floyd was boxing, Floyd was the pound for pound greatest fighter, man. It is what it is.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Exactly. And I'm glad you brought up those points and you highlighted it. What people don't understand is Spence has the opportunity when he goes to 154 to also become undisputed. There's opportunities. It's not like the end all be all happens at 147. If you see the politics that's happening with the WBA, people are talking about Al Heyman. The WBA is trying to screw PBC. Why would Al Heyman want to screw Spence? I never could understand the scenario behind that. Why would Al Heyman want to screw Ugas? Isn't Ugas under PBC? Why would he want to screw that fight from happening when he knows that that fight is a big fight? Ugas just came off of beating Manny Pacquiao. Spence versus Ugas makes for a fight because stylistically, does Spence punishment style outdo Ugas, or does Ugas's Cuban background amateur pedigree outdo Spence? That's a stylistic fight that you would want to fucking see. Plus, it's for belts on the line. The man's name is Man Down Strap Season. Terrence Buck Crawford is fighting Sean Porter, you Bud Man fan, in the comment section. Sean Porter has no fucking belt. When Spence fought Sean Porter, Spence fought a Sean Porter that had a belt and took it from him. See, they don't talk about that. They don't talk about how Terrence Crawford is fighting Spence leftovers. They say Spence doesn't have quality opponents, but he fought Danny Garcia, who at that time was a top 5 welterweight. He fought Sean Porter that actually had a belt. Danny Garcia was his tune-up from a car crash, a top 5 welterweight, mind you. He could have easily fought a Dudakurov Kudratrillo, which was his mandatory, his IBF mandatory. He chose not to go that route. And Spence knew if he would have done that, because he doesn't have the luxury that Terrence Buck Crawford have, they would have criticized him for it. See, but Bud could turn around and fight a fucking meme machine and nobody says anything about it. This is the double standards that we're seeing here in boxing. And then we look at the last 5 opponents. I always say that. When you look at Bud's last 5 opponents, they're laughable. Bud fought Mean Machine. He fought Kell Brook, Spence Leftover. He fought Amir Khan. He fought Jeff Horn. He fought Jose Benavidez. Are these quality opponents? I want the Bud Man fans to tell me. Justify these opponents. Please, try to. You can't. Jeff Horn was a lame duck so that Bud can be invited or be given an invitation to 147 so he can get a belt. Jeff Horn did controversially beat Manny Pacquiao. We know he didn't beat Manny Pacquiao. Then we go into him fighting Jose Benavidez. He fights a one-legged gimp. Spence called his ass out on that. You went tooth and nail with a one-legged gimp. Bo Mac was damn near vomiting Big Macs out in that fucking fight. As many times as Jose Benavidez was touching up Bud. This is why I know Bud is overrated. Then Bud fights Amir Khan. This guy is mangled and basically glass chinned over 2 times over. Danny Garcia.
And Amir Khan quit. He
Exactly.
wasn't even hurt in the fight. He just quit.
He just quit. We're talking about Danny Garcia knocked out Amir Khan. We're talking about Canelo Alvarez knocked out Amir Khan. And that kind of knockout when you're dealing with somebody 2 weight classes and a pound, because that's what Canelo does. Canelo just so much didn't believe in his ability, even against Amir Khan, that he had to bring him up 2 pounds and a pound. He had to bring him up 2 weight classes and a pound. You know, they didn't fight at 154, they fought at 155. I mean, come on, man. Why would you bring up somebody 2 weight classes and then a pound? That's another conversation in and of itself. That's why Canelo is so fucking overrated. The bottom line is he got knocked out by those guys. And you thought that Terrence Crawford, that was a quality fight for him? Did boxing fans call out Terrence Buck Crawford for that? They didn't do that shit. Terrence Buck Crawford fights Kell Brook, who a Dominic Ingle wasn't even there. How do you fight somebody? If you tell me that ain't set up for Terrence Buck Crawford to win, when have you ever seen in your lifetime, Ross, a fighter fights another fighter and his trainer's not even in the fucking corner? I'm sorry, man. Dominic Ingle has been a guy who's always been in his fucking corner. But Dominic Ingle didn't want no parts of that because he knew it was a nosedive affair. Eddie Hearn, when they asked him, will you be around for that fight? Eddie Hearn said, heck no. I have no interest. He didn't even show up because they knew that Kell Brook was there for the slaughter. Let's just be honest here, man. Terrence Buck Crawford is a made-up champion. And the Mean Machine fight tells you that. You Budman fans can't get around the Mean Machine fight. That fight right there exposed Terrence Buck Crawford. It overrated Terrence Buck Crawford to the highest levels. Because a guy like that, you don't get dropped by a guy like that. Especially when you're trying to draw a comparison and say that this guy's the next Floyd Mayweather. Has Floyd Mayweather ever been dropped by a Mean Machine? No. Has he ever been dropped by a Mean Machine level talent? No. So let's stop the nonsense here, man. And let's just be honest. Bud is not sturdy. Spence hits with mean intentions. Spence throws an accumulation of punishment. And if you add the punishment that is going to accumulate round after round, it will tell you, if you're being smart here, that Spence dominates Terrence Crawford in every stretch of the imagination. It's not even a close fucking fight. Terrence Buck Crawford is so over fucking rated. It's not even funny. Now, here's the other thing, Tom Ross, because I want to stop talking about Bud and start talking about this dude, Boots. This is how you could tell black boxing community fan bases all over the fucking place. They just want to dick ride the next motherfucker. They know Terrence Buck Crawford ain't shit, so they jump to Boots. Now you have all these boot fucking lickers. They licking the fucking boots to try to tell you, well, this guy right here, he could expose Spence. He could do this. He could do that. Boots, you want me to take you fucking serious? You got a guy by the name of Virgil Ortiz.
You need to knock him out first.
Thank you. That's a guy in your age group. That's a guy in your vicinity. Why aren't you calling him out? One thing that I like about UK fighters over US fighters, and I believe you're going to agree with this, Tom Ross, is UK fighters are not afraid when a young guy is catching buzz to put him in with another young guy that's catching buzz. They will do that shit. They don't care. They did that with Daniel Dubois in the heavyweight division. You remember?
That's what
his ass was undefeated. He was catching buzz. They put him in with that other undefeated heavyweight. The name's not coming to me right now. If the name comes to y'all, drop it in the comment section. And what happens? Daniel Dubois gets knocked out. Did they try to wait to build up Daniel Dubois? Fuck no. They put his ass in there with another lion. Why do us as American boxers and American boxing fans always want to do this shit when we got these young up-and-coming fighters? We want to build them up. Floyd was not built up. Floyd was thrown in there against Genaro Hernandez at fucking 18 years old.
He was trying to give Floyd a loss.
Yes, and you guys, thank you.
Floyd, and Floyd kept winning.
Thank you, Joy Joyce. Appreciate that. Name was trying to come to me, and it did. Thank you, Joseph Selbu. Thank you, Ronald Fakeley. They put Daniel Dubois in there with Joy Joyce. That means they got that shit right. Why isn't Jaron Boots Ennis not fighting Virgil Ortiz?
Because
That's beyond me.
I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
This boxing community, in America, we don't necessarily want to see good fights. We want to see, when I say we, I'm talking about the majority, not the minority of people who are actually boxing connoisseurs. The majority of American boxing fans, even black ones, nowadays, just as weak as the Mexican ones, they want to see fights where their fighter has damn near 100% chance of winning. So they allow their fighters to cap and call out names that know they're not going to fight.
Yep.
So they can fight guys like Mean Green.
Great point.
They can fight guys like I don't know who the hell Bruce Ennis been knocking out. They could jump around like Mikey Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
They want and we allow that because the boogeyman in boxing, the one everybody has to hate, is an unapologetic black man. Even the black man hates the unapologetic black man.
Facts.
Because the average black man is easy to control.
Yep.
They're gonna hate whoever. Like right now in hip hop, guess who they hate? The one man who owned all his shit. Kanye West. They always make us hate the self-made black man.
Yep.
But they love Lil Durk. The niggas who talk about killing their own people. Or they love Lil Uzi. The niggas who we don't know if he's a man or a woman half the time.
Yep.
But when it comes to a black man who owns his own shit, they have to find fault in that because they don't relate to that. They don't even know who their fathers were.
Yep.
They don't even know who their dads were. They have a resentment toward a black man, particularly a black man whom even the white man can't tell shit.
Yep.
Because they're like that. They don't know how to relate to it. They don't want to aspire to be it. They don't even know how to relate. They don't even know how to relate to the resentment of the unapologetic black man. This is what you're coming in. It's how people can like a Bud Crawford, even though Bud Crawford has been treated like a slave in public by Bob Arum.
Facts. Blatantly.
You like that because you're treated like a slave by your boss.
Facts.
And you accept it. You don't even fight against it. So you like that. And you can relate to that.
Yep.
You can relate to Errol Spence saying, you know what? Like you know what? I don't have to fight Bud if I don't want to because Bud is trash. Bud don't bring nobody he don't put no butts in the seats. I would fight him just to get it out the way, but I don't have to. You relate to the black man who's begging a white man for opportunity. Like Bud. Who's begging Bob Arum just to do his job and promote him. He pays Bob Arum.
Facts.
So why doesn't Bob Arum promote him? Why did Bud Crawford all his fights flop?
Exactly.
If he's so good, if he's so great, why don't nobody want to see him fight?
Exactly.
And we all know he has skill. So that's two things. He's not as great as people saying he is, and Bob Arum's not doing the job because Bob Arum sold us Lomachenko.
Exactly.
Bob Arum sold us Pacquiao. Pacquiao wasn't as great as people thought he was. He was a very fundamentally flawed fighter. But he sold us Pacquiao. Why you can't sell Bud?
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck about Bud. Nobody gives a fuck about Bud except for Errol Spence haters.
Exactly. Watch
Nobody
November 20. How
Bud.
many people will support Terrence Crawford?
Who shares Bud? Who Crawford fighting in November? Who he fighting in November?
Oh shit!
I guarantee you it's a free fight on ESPN.
Yeah, it is.
It's a free fight on ESPN. And Errol Bud Crawford's been an undisputed fighter, and he's still fighting for free on ESPN. Think about that. He's an undisputed fighter. Why isn't he a pay-per-view attraction?
Oh shit!
Why is he not a pay-per-view attraction?
Exactly.
He's an undisputed fighter.
He is.
Because it's two things. It's half Bob Arum don't give a fuck about it because Bob Arum has told us. Bob Arum has told us worst quality, and the fact that Bud is not just as good as people think he is.
No, he's not.
And that's just the facts.
It's facts.
Bud, damn, they got stopped by Gamboa, man. and people think I'm exaggerating, but if you watch that fight, if Gamboa would have realized Gamboa had a lot of respect for Bud. Too much. He let him recover. If Gamboa would have pressed the gas, he would have got Bud up out of there. Easy. You gotta understand one thing, man. In boxing, it's a business. It's a tradition and it's a business.
Yep.
Boxing tradition says Bud and Spence must fight at some point.
Yep.
The boxing tradition says that. The boxing business says that Spence don't necessarily have to fight Bud if he don't want to. Because Bud he's really a liability business-wise.
He's a tick.
He's a liability business-wise. His company don't believe in him. His fans don't support him. Only thing his fans support Bud on is going on Errol Spence videos and talking shit about Spence.
Exactly.
Y'all do not buy his fights, man. Y'all do not support Bud. Therefore, I'm left with the idea. I'm left with the understanding, the fundamental understanding that you guys aren't really fans of Bud. You guys are fans of Errol Spence. And there now I gotta speak on Errol Spence because you had one on the soliloquy and I couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
When we're talking about Errol Spence, what we have to realize is this: Errol Spence is an Olympic talent.
Facts.
People, y'all listen too much ESPN and you don't do your own film study when you watch Errol Spence box. Yep. Errol Spence is give you a mirage, man. You think what he's doing is anybody could do it, but anybody can't do it. Yep. The greatness of Errol Spence's boxing is his discipline. Yep. His discipline to continue to do the same things over and over and over again and over and over. Errol Spence is like the big fundamental of boxing. Man. And before you look up, Tim Duncan got 20 rebounds, 30 points. And you like, when the fuck did all this shit happen? I've been watching this game. This nigga got 15 points only. Like, no, this nigga had 32 points, 4 blocks, 12 rebounds. You're like, what the fuck just happened? Facts. That's because what Errol Spence does is not to be flashy. It's to systematically break you down. That's it. It's to systematically break you down physically. Yep. Floyd Mayweather was systematically break you down mentally. So I always have you questioning yourself mentally. While he's racking up points physically. Errol Spence is systematically breaking you down physically. So you might have a lot of mental fight left in you, but your body won't be able to respond to what your mental is telling it. Exactly. He's gonna break you down, man. Exactly. Are we really gonna sit here and say Bud's gonna be the downfall of Errol Spence? The only downfall of Errol Spence is Errol Spence take a fight above his weight class that he's not ready for just yet. Yep. That's the only Spence. That was the only downfall to be the Errol Spence. If he fights somebody who's just as skilled as him, way bigger than him, then he's not ready for it just yet. Nobody at 147 or below is fucking with Errol Spence, man. Facts. He's gonna walk right through Bud. You'll see. Yep. Wash him. You'll see, man. All that switch hitting shit, that shit don't mean nothing when you're in there with an Olympic style, with an Olympic caliber boxing, man. Yep. That shit don't mean nothing. Nothing. That don't mean nothing. You gotta think about it, man. Before what's the name got stopped, he was in there giving Bud problems. Kell Brook was giving Bud problems. Yep. And then he looked Bob Arum's way, and Bob Arum was like, "Hey man, you dominating Bud too much, dog. Hey, what's up? You gonna quit? You gonna make Bud look good at some point?" Because what people don't understand is right before Kell Brook got basically the worst knockout I've ever seen in my life, Bud threw an elbow at him, and that was a knockout. And the elbow didn't even graze him. Y'all need to go back and look at the slow-mo. I did that video. I got so many thumbs down, but it was the fucking truth.
Go back and look at the rewind on that shit. Bud threw a fucking elbow. The elbow grazed Kell Brook. Kell Brook looks at Bob Arum and was like, "Oh shit, it's time for me to give the impression I'm being knocked the fuck out." Come on, man. Spence made Kell Brook bend the knee. Like those body shots was just way too fucking much. And he just bent. It was an automatic bending because it was physical punishment versus basically Terrence Bud Crawford giving us a nosedive affair, man. Boxing is such a funny thing because when have you ever seen Errol Spence be told in the Kell Brook fight that Dominic Ingle wasn't going to be there? This is the other thing too, Tom Ross. They're not magnifying this. Errol Spence went all the way to fucking Sheffield.
Right.
He went into this man's home in the UK, went in uncharted territories, and beat this guy. Terrence Bud Crawford does this in his hometown, in front of his home crowd. There is no out of state this, no out of state that. And Kell Brook doesn't have his trainer or his promoter there. So you didn't think Top Rank was not going to Top Rank Strange rape his ass? That's exactly what the fuck happened in that fight. Nobody's going to tell me that was not no circus clown affair. That was the worst rendition. Me and Ross was covering the fight, and we saw Kell Brook landing combinations after combination. That's how you know Bud is over fucking rated. Kell Brook was out beating him in the category that Terrence Bud Crawford is so good at with skills in terms of boxing ability. And then out of nowhere, he starts acting. He starts realizing, oh shit, I think I'm not supposed to look this good. I think Bud is supposed to look decent in this fight. And you know what all of these Bud man fans do? These fake as fuck Errol Spence fans do? They run with, oh, he knocked out Kell Brook better than Errol Spence. But you slow the shit down. I'm telling y'all need to go back and slow it down. What you will see is Terrence Bud Crawford's elbow barely grazed Kell Brook, and then Kell Brook, in a delayed reaction, realizes that an elbow came by him, and then he falls himself. And it was like the worst fall ever. It wasn't even fucking believable. So don't hand me Terrence Bud Crawford is this and Terrence Bud Crawford is that. And then Amir Khan, a guy you can't take serious, runs his mouth and says, well, you know, if Spence and Bud fights, I'm going to root with Bud. Listen, there's a reason why you're saying that. You're saying that it's because Paramount, Bud beat him, but here's the bigger thing. It's because Spence falls under that Mayweather lineage. You got to understand there's bad blood between Mayweather and Amir Khan because Amir Khan never got the Mayweather fight. So that's why Amir Khan was saying that. It was based off the lineage of that. It was like a dig. Because if you listen to Amir Khan 2 years before that, Amir Khan tells you, the same Amir Khan says, Spence is too big for Bud. So 2 years before that, when your brain was a little healthier and your brain was not, didn't have that much matter, had more matter in it, and it wasn't, and your chin was less glass chinny, you were able to be smart enough to realize that Spence was too big for Bud. And then you come 2 years later and says, Bud now? Come on, man. Y'all got to do the math here. It's a simple math. He's paid to say these things.
Yeah, well, people don't
just be honest.
Amir Khan is permanently concussed, man.
Yes.
Amir Khan just be talking, man. You understand what that? Amir Khan got stopped by Danny Garcia.
Yes.
Y'all realize this? Danny Garcia don't punch harder than Floyd. He dedicate all his body weight to one punch.
Exactly.
It looks like he punched harder than Floyd. He can't punch that way the whole fight. He began gassed by round 5.
No.
Floyd would have stopped Amir Khan, man.
Yes.
It would have been bad. But think Amir Khan never had nothing to offer when he wanted to fight with Floyd. Never had nothing. He never had no belt. He never had anything.
Exactly.
He never had anything for him to. When he wanted to fight Floyd, Floyd was trying to make the fight with Kell Brook, but Kell Brook was like, "You got to come to the UK."
Exactly.
I got to come to the UK to fight you, man. I'm Floyd Mayweather Jr., nigga.
Exactly.
I'm not Errol Spence was on the come up.
Yep.
I'm not Errol Spence. I'm Floyd Mayweather Jr. I got to come to you.
Yes.
To get your belt, you smoking rocks.
That's it.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing about
that was a good one.
Here's my thing about this whole situation here, man.
Mm-hmm.
You hear this in all sports. People are not genuine when it comes to who they give praise to. A lot of sports guys, when they don't lose the narcissism once they're done playing. They continue. They'll give the credit to whoever beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it goes, because when they give it to whoever beat them, they can make the excuse the reason why I wasn't great because I lost to the best. So people who lost to Bud don't make it seem like Bud was the best just because they beat them. Bud beating you. Point. Bud beating Amir Khan don't make him shit.
Exactly.
Bud ain't the best until he beat Errol Spence Jr.
Exactly.
Then he'll be the best at 147. Right now, Bud is a visitor at 147.
Yep.
At 147, his resume is trash.
It's garbage.
Everybody know that. Everybody who's fighting against that is not being genuine.
Exactly.
You're being disingenuous. You're being facetious. If you say Bud's resume at 147, his resume at 147 really ain't worth the title fight. The only reason why he in there to get a title fight because he got a belt, man. And that's what Bob Arum does. He just gets his guy. All his guys always cycle out one belt, the WBO belt. And then he just holds on that belt to the PBC guy gets 3 belts. And then he tries to get set up the fight. He lets the other guy do all the heavy lifting. Then he tries to set up the fight. He does that shit all the time. Bob Arum only trick y'all. He don't trick real boxing fans, man. Bud Crawford has done nothing at 147 to even deserve a fight with Errol Spence. He should be happy to be in the ring with Errol Spence, man. He should be happy, man. He should take a 35 split.
Yep.
And be happy for it. Because the 35 split could be the most money he ever made in his life.
Exactly.
Man, think about it. Here's how bad it is for Bud, man. Bud had a premier fight with Kilbrick in his hometown.
Yep.
And it still didn't sell out. Nobody cares about Bob Arum fighters. Nobody cares about Bud, man. Not even people in Oklahoma. Where the fuck is he from? Nebraska.
Oh shit.
They didn't even care about him. They ain't still out the fight. Everybody who fight on the top rank, they never sell out fights, man. Only Manny Pacquiao, man. Only Manny Pacquiao sell out fights, man. The fights with Tyson Fury when he wasn't fighting Deontay Wilder, crickets, 6,000 people max. Lomachenko, 4,500 people max. These guys can't sell nothing, man. They trash, man. And the only reason why people want to root for them because truth be told, they hate to see black men, unapologetic black men, give money and not under the thumb of a white man like them.
Facts. So
you'd rather be a fan. You'd rather be a fan of a Steven from Django than be a fan of Nat Turner because Nat Turner free running around killing niggas.
Exactly.
You scared of that because you scared to be your own boss, so you can't relate to that.
Yep.
That's the problem, man. That's the only way you can root for it. Because Terrence Crawford gives you absolutely nothing to root for.
Nothing. Nothing.
He's not fighting nobody with no hands.
Nope.
He ain't even been. He ain't even been looking good in these fights like that. He even had to come from adversity to fighting trash. He don't sell no tickets.
Exactly.
He gives you absolutely nothing at 147 to be proud of, man.
Yep.
That's why I always call him Doug Crawford.
Yep.
Sade loaded. You're right. He a fraud. I always call him Doug Crawford, man.
Yep.
At 147, he is a fraud. He has done nothing at 147 to be demanding anything from Errol Spence, man.
Nothing.
That's what y'all not understanding. If y'all was real Bud fans, y'all would say, Bud, take the deal.
That's it.
Y'all say, Bud, go ahead, take the deal. Provide for the family, man. Go back down to 147 and destroy it.
Yep.
Go back down to 140 and destroy it.
That's it.
Take the deal. Go to 140, destroy. Wait for Errol Spence to move. Come back to 147, destroy again.
Exactly.
That's it. But as far as him whooping Errol Spence, ain't gonna happen, Calvin.
Exactly.
Ain't gonna happen. All Bud gonna get is some broken ribs and get his motherfucking head beat in. That's it, man. That's all he gonna get. His ribs will be broken.
That's it.
That's it.
Man, listen, man. That's all I want to see. All I want to see is the reactions from guys like Ronald Finger. They probably gonna disappear for months after the Spence versus the Crawford fight. Because that's what happens to fans like this. They get a shell-shocking moment. They come to the realization and they realize, well, shit, this fighter right here got exposed in such a way that was just magnificent. But at the same time, I can't come to that conclusion of what a Tom Ross or what a He Knows Everything was saying. So I have to digress. I'm not gonna be around their channel. I have to frequent channels that want to find excuses to justify why Spence won. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. When Spence punishes Bud, they're gonna say, two excuses. Get ready for it. They're gonna say Spence tried to age Bud out. I've already prepped my mind for it. They basically gonna try to use the Manny Pacquiao shit. They're gonna say Spence tried to age Bud out. Or here's the second one. They're gonna say, well, you got to look at it like this. Bud's been fighting, and Spence, he had the car crash and he had the eye, so Spence was more fresh. I'm telling you, they're gonna find
ways. More fresh because he was injured.
Thank you. You see how that's not matching up. They're gonna try to find ways to try to justify why Bud lost. And then when they finally get over it, Tom Ross, you know what they're gonna say? Fuck Spence. Now he need to fight Canelo. They're gonna come up with those excuses.
That's what they're gonna say.
And then they're gonna jump to the next one. They're gonna say, man, fuck Bud. He need to fight Canelo.
They're gonna say Boost Ennis, or they're gonna say Canelo.
Exactly.
But they're not gonna bring up the fact that don't Canelo gotta fight Charlo before he fight anybody?
Yep.
What the fuck Canelo like fighting Errol Spence and not fighting Charlo?
Exactly.
And they the same size.
You see the point that I'm making? Anybody that says Bud is a killer, you must either be from Omaha, Nebraska, or you don't know shit about boxing. Bud is not a fucking killer. Bud is what we call Bud Fraudford, aka Dud fucking Crawford.
I'm saying again, if Sean Porter show up, Sean Porter gonna upset Bud.
But this is my problem. I don't think Sean Porter's gonna show up. I honestly don't believe that. You know why? Because Spence punished him too much. When you do 12 rounds of Spence, you are no longer the same fighter. I'm sorry.
That's true. But Bud ain't Spence, and he don't got to be as good as he was against Spence against Bud.
You wrong for that. You basically saying Bud is that garbage.
Not that garbage. He's just not as good as Spence.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, and it's gonna piss off the Bud Man fan. But when I watch the Mean Machine fight, I always bring that shit up. See, because I know they ain't got no counter for it. When Mean Machine dropped this motherfucker in the third round, that was the first time I ever said out of my mouth, Ross, that Bud was garbage. That came out of my mouth. I said, Bud is garbage.
I don't believe he's as good as he's advertised.
Because let me tell you something. The way that they build this guy, the way that they say that this guy is so skillful, the way that they say that this guy is so good, that drop should have never happened. And here's the other part. Here's the other part, Ross. Here's the other part, because I'm gonna throw it your way. You didn't know this. Mean Machine was off for 12 months.
I didn't know that. I said he was off for 12 months. I didn't even know.
He was off for 12 fucking months. And he dropped Terrence Bud Crawford. Y'all need to stop this shit. Stop. I'm glad Ox told you that shit. Y'all motherfuckers need to stop this shit. How does a guy of Mean Machine's caliber that was off for 12 months drops Terrence Bud Crawford? Terrence Bud Crawford is overrated. That fight right there was the first time it came out of my mouth, and I'm going to admit it. I said, oh, shit. Spence versus Crawford is not no super fight, man. I'm going to be honest with you.
You nice. I never believed it was a stupid fight because again, but
I'm going to say this, though. It made me realize that Bud ain't even better than fucking Danny Garcia. So this is going to be a garbage-ass fight. That's what I came to the conclusion of. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is going to be a garbage-ass fight. Because the only time it's going to look entertaining is in the first 3 to 4 rounds when Spence is sitting there trying to figure out, okay, this is where I need to damage this motherfucker. This is where I need to hit this motherfucker. This is where I need to turn around and start punishing his ass. And then once Spence started imposing his will, you're going to see how much of a one-sided massacre, like my boy Joseph Selbu said, a one-sided beatdown, a one-sided punishment affair, a one-sided washing this fight is going to be, man. It's not even going to be fucking close. I'm going to say this today, and I'm going to start saying it over and over again. And you Bud Man fans need to get it. Bud is garbage. When you go watch the Mean Machine fight, it tells you he's garbage. He's not great. He's fucking garbage. And y'all need to stop promoting this guy like he's competition for Errol Spence. Errol Spence fighting Ugas is the competition. That's really the undisputed fight at 147. You know why? Because of what Ugas did to fucking Manny Pacquiao.
I think Ugas could beat Bud.
Yeah.
Bud ain't strong enough to hurt Ugas, and Ugas is a good enough boxer to give Bud problems, man.
Yeah, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it here first. Terrence Bud Crawford is garbage. I don't even want to hear about Spence versus Crawford.
He ain't garbage. he ain't fire like they say.
I ain't playing no more. Terrence Bud Crawford. I'm running.
I know why you saying that though.
Ross, you know me, though. I know you not saying it, but you know me. I'm running with it from here on out.
I know why you saying it. They have told me, I have looked Bud Man fans in the eye. They have told me that they have told me, Draco, that be with loyalty to the game, has said Bud is as skilled as Floyd Mayweather Jr., man. So in that comparison, he is garbage. He's garbage compared to Floyd.
Yes.
Because we see Floyd be in there with bigger guys and him get hit flush. And you're like, damn, that's supposed to stop Floyd. And Floyd ass, he shake that shit off, do his shoulder like this, and then go sit down and then be back. Maidana would have knocked Bud out with that punch.
Mm-hmm.
Pacquiao, that punch he caught Floyd with in the 4th round would have knocked Bud out, man.
Yeah, and the one in the 7th.
The 6th or the 7th would have knocked Bud out.
Knocked his ass the flat out.
The punch that Mosley hit Mayweather would have ended Bud's career, man. Bud would have went back to 140.
Bud would have been shitting on himself for the rest of his life with that punch, though.
He would have went back to 140. People don't realize this. It's okay to buck the system.
Yep.
They told you, like they telling you to hate on Errol Spence now. They've been telling me all my life they hate on Floyd. And I never hated on Floyd, but I never was giving him his just due, just right like I was supposed to, because I was holding on to Ali. And then I watched the fight. One fight won me over. Said, "Oh, this man ain't to be fucking played with." That was Corrales.
Diego Corrales. I knew you was gonna say that.
And then another fight said, "Damn, this dude is really a monster." When he fought Arturo Gatti, I said, "This dude." But the fight that let me know this nigga is the greatest of all time that I seen with my eyes was the fight against not even Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was easy work. When he made Canelo look like easy work. 154, man. Because that's the equivalent to what Ali was dealing with against a young George Foreman. Yeah, Ali, he got the job done, but Ali struggled. Ali got beat up that fight.
Yeah, he got beat up.
But he got the job done. Mayweather like he was in there with a young pup, man.
Like he was chilling, though.
He was chilling in there.
But like he was at the strip club.
Because the thing about Floyd is Floyd never rested on his athletic ability. He never rested on that. And Ali did. When Ali started getting older, he couldn't do that athletic superhuman shit no more. He had to rely on just him being tough. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd is tough, but Floyd don't rely on being tough.
He relies on the fact that
finally rock him.
He relies on hard work and dedication, dog. His work ethic. Exactly.
So once I saw that, I said, "Oh, this motherfucker." Yeah, I can say he's the best I've ever seen in my own eyes. And to say that Bud Crawford is as good as that, that's disrespectful to Floyd, man.
Yep, and that's why I started calling him garbage. Because now once you start saying he's on Floyd Mayweather, he's garbage in my book. That's just like y'all did it for me with Boots. I was liking Boots, but once y'all started comparing him to Spence, he's garbage. You can't compare.
Y'all gotta stop doing that, man.
This is the problem with boxing fans. They like to just compare anybody to special people. You can't do that. You can't do that. Even Shakur Stevenson. I like Shakur Stevenson, but you see, I stopped that shit right in his tracks when these motherfuckers started comparing him with Floyd Mayweather. I was like, okay, so he's 16-0 in championship fights.
He has to do more.
He's 26. He's 26-0. He has to do those things. And then he got to get 50-0 for me to sit here and say that he is reborn Floyd Mayweather. If he don't do that shit, then what the fuck is the comparison?
You know what's crazy? Floyd has done so much in boxing that I can say it with a very confident air that I'm quite certain we're never going to see it again. Now, there could be a new level of greatness. Because my thing is this. I feel Errol Spence and Floyd would have been the right combination of competition for each other. But we will never know because their generations removed. I feel like Spence could reach a level of greatness that could parallel it, especially if he gets undisputed, in 147 and 154. But as far as what I've seen with my own eyes, you might not never see it again because what Floyd did is unparalleled. Like 16 straight. 16 straight championship.
And you got to look at the 16 straight that he did it with. I mean, come on. That's unparalleled.
That's unparalleled, bro. And he would have had more if Boston wasn't fighting him. Boston was fighting Floyd. Floyd wanted to fight so many people that they didn't make the fight.
Hold on. I just got to say that Pacquiao's greater than Floyd, but Pacquiao got what, 9 losses? Didn't Ugas just beat the shit out of him? But he's greater than Floyd? You honestly think, I like you, Dennis Ugas, but you honestly think you, Dennis Ugas, would have beat Floyd Mayweather? Fuck out of here, man.
That guy needs to stick to watching porn, man. Stick to watching porn, bro.
XXX.
Stick to watching porn. Stick to listening to XXX, man. Manny Pacquiao is another guy he's been plugged to be something bigger than what he is.
Exactly.
Even Bob Arum didn't want to make the fight between Manny Pacquiao and Bud because he wasn't sure if Manny Pacquiao would have won that fight. That goes to show you all you need to know.
Yep.
That's what show you all you need to know. He didn't want to ruin any one of those guys because he wasn't sure about neither one of them, so he ended up fight. Think about that.
Oh,
so if he was sure about one or the other, he would have let him fight and he would have pushed the other guy to the limit. Like,
because I see where you were going, or the dichotomy is okay, Bud loses, shit, he's fucking exposed. No Spence fight. Spence ain't even gonna look his way. And if Manny Pacquiao's exposed, then shit, he's not billed to be this guy that we keep trying to compare with Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
He would have been fucked on both sides of the aisle.
Right. So he didn't even let them fight. That's the politics of boxing that I need y'all to understand, man. Put it on this last comment. He knows.
This one here?
Yeah, Floyd ducked Pacquiao for 6 years.
Yeah, that's just trolling, dog.
He ducked Pacquiao for 6 years. Didn't Floyd fight Marcos? Not Marcos. Didn't Floyd fight
Juan Manuel Marquez?
Juan Manuel Marquez?
Yeah, the motherfucker that knocked out Pacquiao.
Who knocked out Pacquiao? Didn't Floyd beat him easy?
Easy work.
Do you know why the Marquez fight happened before the Manny Pacquiao fight?
Yep.
Marquez said, "Yeah, I'll take the Olympic style testing, man."
Yep.
Manny Pacquiao tried to wait till Floyd got old. And still lost, man.
Yeah.
Still lost easy. The Floyd who fought Cotto would have beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao, man.
Yep.
Because Cotto hit hard, man. Floyd's in that shit. It was in there thumping. Manny Pacquiao couldn't have beat no Cotto at 154. Cotto would have stopped Manny ass at 154. That was his best weight.
Yep.
I believe Cotto should have moved to 154 sooner, and even with the 160.
Facts.
Because he got the body type for it. Man, listen, Cotto's so tough. This is how you know Cotto was drained and he wasn't hurt. Cotto Cotto would damn near a whole fight against Margarito with rigged gloves.
Yep.
So you know he's tough. So you know
Exactly.
it wasn't the power from Manny. He was just tired because he got drained.
Yep.
Let me tell y'all about weight draining, man.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, my parents made sure I ate every day, so I was never malnourished. But the guys I played football with, I was always naturally bigger than them. Even though they used to lift weights, I was naturally bigger than them. So I used to have to cut weight. Even though I wasn't fat, I used to have to cut weight to play football with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was big. I was bigger than the weight I was supposed to be to play football. Did you know those first couple of games, I wasn't worth shit. Because I'm trying to get my weight back because I'm drained. So imagine you do all that shit and you got to fight the next day. Boxing is more taxing on the body than football. That's what I understand. Boxing is more taxing on the body than football, man.
That's true.
You got to box the next day, 12 straight fucking rounds.
Yep.
And you drain. You've been fighting at 154 the last 2-3 years. You got to come down to fight 140. That fight was won on the scales. It wasn't won in the ring. Manny Pacquiao ain't shit compared to Floyd. Nope. Look at their one-on-one fight.
Yep. But see, I'm glad you said that. You talk about all of the Floyd Mayweather's best performances. My Floyd Mayweather best performance was the one against Juan Manuel Marquez. It's not what everybody would say. You know why? Because he took 2.5 years off. And then he comes back and he washes Juan Manuel Marquez. That is like the most humiliating defeat ever. Off of 2.5 years, Juan Manuel Marquez was his tune-up. That's why everybody should have put in their minds that Manny Pacquiao did not belong in the ring with Juan Manuel Marquez. Manny Pacquiao never retired. Manny Pacquiao was fighting this guy, and Manny Pacquiao was going tooth and nail with this guy and losing a lot of those fights. If you really go back and look at it, like Floyd said, Juan Manuel Marquez won the lion's shares of those bouts that they had. The only one Manny Pacquiao got was the one where Manny Pacquiao knocked him out. If you look at the other fights, the lion's share of it, Juan Manuel Marquez won those fucking fights, including the knockout. So they fought 4 times. To me, Juan Manuel Marquez won 3 out of 1. I got him 3 out of fucking 4. If they're really being honest, that's what Floyd said too.
Yeah,
he said the lion's share of those fights, Juan Manuel Marquez was robbed because they wanted to build up Pacquiao. But I'm going to tell you why he fought Juan Manuel Marquez. I'm going to give you the deeper one. You a Floydologist, so you know this shit, bro. He fought Juan Manuel Marquez because he wanted to show everybody the difference between him and Manny Pacquiao. That was the main reason. This guy right here fights this guy. He goes tooth and nail with him. I fight him and I washed him.
It was easy, man.
Easy.
And at that point, I started taking on all bets, man. You know how much fucking money I won when Floyd beat Manny Pacquiao? Over $2,700 on one shit, man. I bet all the Filipinos, man. I bet all of them. I said, man, this easy. Because I actually boxed. I knew that Manny Pacquiao made too many mistakes to beat Floyd. On his best day, he made too many mistakes. He made too many mistakes to beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. And it's sad. Someone said Tank ain't fighting no brothers. Canelo Alvarez ain't fighting no brothers or no Mexicans. Ain't nobody saying nothing about Canelo Alvarez.
Thank you. Great point.
Canelo Alvarez said he ain't fighting no Mexicans.
Not this one right here is probably kissing Canelo Alvarez. Oh, Canelo Alvarez is a great champion. He's great for the sport. You know, this is what I don't understand. How boxing fans, black boxing fans, have cooned and buffooned for Canelo Alvarez. Oh, Canelo Alvarez, he's great. Canelo Alvarez, you know, he's going to be undisputed. He's going to do this. But last time I checked, it's wrong for Gervonta Tank Davis to go out there and fight opportunities. Last time I checked, Rolly Romero called out Gervonta Tank Davis, not the other way around. So he's not going to handle business. This is a Mikey Garcia fight. When Mikey Garcia kept calling out Errol Spence, what was Errol Spence supposed to do? Not take the fight? Nobody wanted to fight Spence at that time. Sean Porter wasn't trying to fight him. They forget this. Danny Garcia wasn't trying to fight him. Keith Thurman, all of these guys was ducking him. So what, he was just supposed to sit there on the sidelines and not take a fight? He took the fucking fight.
Exactly.
So Gervonta Tank Davis, y'all told him, this is the thing, this is the irony in this one, Ross. They say Gervonta Tank Davis is fat. He blows up in between fights. He doesn't stay healthy. Now he's staying busy. Now they're clowning his opponents when you got Devin Haney of all fucking people not fighting Teofimo Lopez.
They don't want to fight him. They
Come
don't
on.
want to fight Tank. They
on,
want Tank to
man.
move on and to say Tank ducked them, and they fight less of competition. And put it on the next comment after this one. You know?
This one?
No. You went all the way down. Go up. Go up some more. Another one.
This one.
Yeah. So Floyd ducked Keith Thurman, Amir Khan, Vernon Flores, Winky Wright, Spade for it. Winky Wright was 2 weight classes above Floyd.
Back. Debunk.
Vernon Flores
was already way too big for Floyd. If Vernon Flores was in the same mold with Winky Wright. So these two got canceled.
And who exactly did Vernon Flores lose to? Who did he lose to?
Yes.
Amir Khan did not Amir Khan lose to Canelo?
Yes.
Didn't Keith Thurman lose to Pacquiao?
Yep.
What y'all talking? You can't possibly fight everybody, man.
Exactly.
Floyd fought everybody who was available and ready to fight at his weight class at the time. You can't say, "Oh, this was a big name when Floyd was a big name, so Floyd didn't fight, so Floyd ducked him."
Facts.
These guys, the onus was on them to make the fight. So anything, they ducked Floyd. If Floyd would have fought Winky Wright at that time, Winky Wright would have been the A side.
Yep.
So anything, Winky Wright ducked Floyd because Winky Wright was supposed to make the fight, not Floyd.
Yep.
So what are y'all talking about?
Mike Jones, Floyd washed Zab Judah in their primes. I want to see one of these young cats do shit like that. He washed Zab Judah, washed them. And what you talking about? Floyd barely fought any brothers. And you watch his early part of his career, he fought nothing but fucking brothers. Chop Corley. Chop Corley was nasty, man. Look at me fucking started, man. It's like these motherfuckers don't understand. Y'all don't know boxing, man. Y'all don't fucking know boxing.
To be told, it's in their spirit to hate on a self-made black man. They don't hate on no other. They don't hate on no Mexican fighters. They don't hate on no black or no white owned black fighters. They don't hate on black fighters who write their own ticket.
No, but this is the thing. They hate on black fighters, period. Even Joseph Selva was like, damn, he got him, he knows. Chop Corley was an elite fucking southpaw, man. And Floyd dismantled this cat.
Zab Judah was an undisputed fighter.
Yes.
Dude said Zab Judah was a hype job.
Oh, okay. You don't know boxing.
Zab Judah was an undisputed fighter that would have beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao if they would have fought at the same time Floyd fought. When Floyd was beating Zab Judah, guess what? Manny Pacquiao wasn't even being spoken about.
Exactly.
They made Manny Pacquiao out of thin air, man.
Yep.
That's how you know it was PEDs.
Exactly.
Manny Pacquiao was getting knocked out. At the time that Floyd was beating Zab Judah, Manny Pacquiao was getting knocked out by no-name Filipino fighters.
Exactly. And see, here's the other thing too, because we got to say this. They don't want to give the black fighter credit because they know if they give the black fighter credit, then they have to face the fact that they've been cooning and buffooning the whole fucking time. That's why they don't do it. When you on the wrong side of history and you on the wrong side of the aisle, the day you decide to come on the right side of the aisle, it reveals what you've been doing wrong all of that time. So what you're gonna always do is you always gonna stay on the wrong side of the aisle. You actually have no choice but to stay on the wrong side of the aisle. To sit here and say that Canelo Alvarez is a great champion, this and that, when we with our own eyes watched Floyd Mayweather wash him, Canelo Alvarez should have been overrated in your mind since that fight. Don't tell me he got better after that fight. Because if he got better after that fight, why did a no special effects up and down Triple G, he go tooth and nail with him? That's what Floyd called Triple G. He said the motherfucker got no special effects up and down.
If Triple G would have came down to 154, Floyd would have washed Triple G.
Washed him.
Easy.
But my thing is, why did he go tooth and nail with that guy? If he had got so much better, he should have washed Triple G. Here's the other thing too.
They the same level.
If he had got so much better, why is he not fighting Jamal Charlo? Why is he not fighting Demetrius Andrade? Because if you learn from the master, none of these guys should fucking matter in the ring. But it's because he did not get better. See, that's that false. You know how when we were in grade school, they call it propaganda, and they call it false media. That's what that is. They falsifying your brain that this guy's better than what he actually is. That's why come November 6th, if Caleb Plant has the right game plan, Caleb Plant has the conditioning, Caleb Plant comes in and uses his size advantage because he's truly the bigger guy at 168. Then when it's all said and done, Caleb Plant's going to dominate. That's it. The bar fucking none. And it's not even fucking close.
Man, if we being honest, Trill Boston talk ain't shit, man.
Nah, he ain't shit.
We're just gonna keep it
100. And this is a lot of those guys. A lot of those guys. I don't entertain when people do shit like that. To be honest with you, Ross, because a lot of these guys can't see us. A lot of these guys ain't shit. They go off of what they want you to hear. They don't go off of the truth. When you sit here and you prop up Devin Haney over Gervonta Tank Davis, your boxing knowledge is limited. When you sit there and you apologize, motherfuckers like this are crying for Terrence Bud Crawford to come over to their platform so that they can get an interview from him after Bud has told them constantly, I don't give a fuck about you guys.
Bro,
so I don't even understand that rationale.
If you try to have a successful podcast, why would you want Bud Crawford interview anyway? Why the fuck you want Bud Crawford interview, man? You should be trying to get Tank on there.
Oh, shit.
You should be trying to get if you're a football fan, you should be trying to get Lamar Jackson. If you should be trying to get Errol, you should be trying to get who else right now? You should be trying to get Anthony Joshua right now to see how he's taking this loss. You should be trying to get Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford, what are you gonna talk about?
Exactly.
What turmoil has he been through, man? Who has he fought for him to have anything crazy to say? Some shit that's gonna enlighten you.
Exactly.
Check this out, man.
Because you know what Bud gonna do? Bud gonna talk shit about Spence the whole time.
The whole time.
And that's what they want. That's why they want Bud. They want Bud so that they could low key have ammo to talk shit about Spence. I saw right through that bullshit a mile away. That's what that boils down to. It has nothing to do with anything else. And Bud, ironically, is revealing he's not as dumb as fucking Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's dumb as fucking rocks. Let's just be honest here, man. If we're not being honest with ourselves, we're not being fucking honest.
Man, you always coming from my boy, man.
Hey, he's dumb as fucking rocks. And the reason why he's dumb as fucking rocks is because he fell for their bullshit. For them to pimp and
I
use him.
I would say this.
Terrence Crawford is actually a little smarter, Ross. Because Terrence Crawford could see that they trying to pimp him. And Terrence Crawford's like, y'all not gonna fucking pimp me. As a matter of fact, Terrence Bud Crawford dish ragged them. Remember what he said with them? Yeah. And that's why I don't know why they still want interviews from him. Terrence Bud Crawford said, these so-called black channels always got some shit to say about me, but then they want me to interview them. They want to say they talking good about me. Listen, I talk shit about you, bud. I'm gonna always talk shit about you because you ain't that fucking good. I'm not gonna talk shit about you and then want to interview at the same time. That's a fucking catch-22. What the fuck is that? That shit don't make no sense. And that's what these motherfuckers want to do. They want to talk shit about Bud, but then at the same time, they want to interview Bud. And you think Bud, coming from Omaha, Nebraska, these Omaha Nebraskans, they are so emotional. They are so beta with their fucking emotions that this shit don't even mean nothing. Like they just get tense off of you saying Bud's hair look that way. And then he'll send a tweet saying, but your hair looks this way. You think a motherfucker like that is gonna come and get interviewed by you? Come on, man. Y'all smoking fucking crack.
He knows. But one thing you gotta understand is those so-called Nebraskan fans, those is Bud's family members, man. People in Nebraska don't give a fuck about Bud, man. They give a fuck about two things, man. Corn and the Nebraska Corn Huskers.
Exactly.
They don't give a fuck about Bud, man.
Yep.
Think about it. We met more Errol Spence fans from Nebraska than Bud fans.
Exactly.
So listen, man. Me personally, I know that boxing is a taxing sport, and I talk a lot of shit, but I salute all boxers. Whether I feel like they're not as good as others or not, I salute all boxers. What I
I do
don't
too.
salute, what I don't salute is you come into a game where a game plan has already been laid out for you to follow, and you don't follow it, and instead you think this white man gonna do right by you.
Exactly.
And then when he don't, you want to get on Twitter, you want to cry, you're not getting these fights. And
Exactly.
then instead of holding him accountable, you want to hold Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather accountable because you see your competition getting the fights that they want.
What the fuck is packing the buildings in Nebraska all about? Listen, man.
Oh no, he's trolling.
No. I'm gonna say this, Ross, so you will laugh. I've watched Bud fights. Even in Nebraska, in his hometown, that shit ain't packed. Come on now, stop playing,
bro.
This ain't the Cornhuskers.
He's being a troll right now. Right? He got the two crying emojis.
Yep.
Two crying emojis. He been trolling this whole time, giving us ammo.
Yep. And see, here's the thing. Here's the thing that makes me laugh. These guys sit here, and I gotta bring this shit up. You see what they doing? Why Tank ducking Gary Russell Jr.? Why did Devin Haney duck Gary Russell Jr.? Why did Bill Haney find a way contractually to get Devin Haney out of that fucking fight? See, y'all don't call a spade a spade here, man.
For that fight not to happen.
Come on now.
He knows you cooking with that, bruh. You cooking with that.
Because the bottom line,
for that fight to happen, not to happen.
Because you know what? Let me explain. And it's these same LDBC cockroaches, because that's what they are. They're fucking scattering ass cockroaches. These same cockroaches was propping up Gary Russell Jr., pushing Gary Russell Jr., giving Gary Russell Jr. fucking interviews and shit like that. But when they saw that they couldn't pimp Gary Russell Jr., they blackballed his ass.
Yep.
But they could pimp
everybody.
They could pimp Devin Haney. They could pimp Bill Haney. They can get what they need to get out of them. So yeah, Devin Haney and Bill Haney. Devin Haney's the best lightweight. Gervonta Tank Davis, why is he ducking Devin Haney? They've already created that narrative when we know it's bullshit, because Bill Haney out of his own fucking mouth said Gervonta Tank Davis is the most dangerous fucking fighter. Mm-hmm. Why would he say that? Where would he get that? What did he get a hit? Did he get a fucking truth serum? Listen, y'all ducked Gary Russell Jr. and we know now why y'all ducked Gary Russell Jr. Because we looked at the Jorge Linares fight and we looked at the Gamboa fight, and we say, you know what? If you plug Gary Russell Jr. in any one of these motherfucking spots, guess what happens? Devin Haney has his first fucking loss. Easily.
You know what?
Easily.
I believe that.
Easily.
I believe that. You want to know
and
why?
They don't want to fucking admit that shit. That's the problem. They don't want to admit it.
Devin Haney has size over Gary Russell Jr. and they still didn't want to make the fight, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Haney has all the advantages and they still didn't want to make the fight. And that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know why Tank fighting these Mexican guys, man. But instead of y'all saying, man, salute the Tank. He salute the Tank. He knocking these Mexican motherfuckers out. He getting his bread. He set up the big fights with the black guys. Y'all want to tear Tank down. Y'all know why Tank doing this. But there's no reason why Devin Haney did not fight Gary Russell Jr.
Facts.
It was being mandated.
Yep.
So what happened?
Exactly.
I guarantee you they mandate a fight between Gary Russell Jr. and Tank. Tank take the fight and he knocked Gary Russell Jr. ass out.
And he'll knock his ass out.
That fight, Tank will take it and whoop Gary Russell ass, man.
Facts.
Because we got to think about something. Gary Russell was barely handling Lomachenko power. Come on now.
Exactly.
Come on now. He couldn't handle Lomachenko.
Exactly.
How the fuck you gonna handle Tank?
Thank you.
The only nigga in the only nigga at 135 that I feel could do okay, but still gonna get stopped and get their ass beat is Teofimo Lopez. And guess what? He ain't tough enough.
Nah.
Tank gonna make Teofimo Lopez quit.
He gonna make him quit.
Because Teofimo Lopez had quit before.
Yep.
If you quit once, you'll quit again.
This time around, he gonna quit, period.
He'll quit again. This is a nigga that lost to Nakatani and said he don't want to fight nobody with long arms no more.
Exactly. Dad, no more taller fighters. I think I'm gonna quit boxing because of social media. Why you think I called that motherfucker that day? Super duper hype job variation, though. Because that motherfucker is that. You got Devin Haney and you got Teofimo Lopez. This is how you know these boxing fans are backwards. You got these two motherfuckers that could fight for undisputed, Tom Ross. Why are they holding that up? Do they not realize what that would do for their boxing career? Devin Haney, who's desperately wanting to be on equal footing with Gervonta Tank Davis from a popularity standpoint, does he not understand how that's going to help him? He would never be on Tank's level from a
Yeah.
popularity standpoint, but it will propel him at least. It'll give him a boost. And he's sitting there bullshitting this shit.
These guys,
Teofimo Lopez. Oh well, Bob. Y'all talk to Bob. Y'all talk to Bob. I knew that shit was just gonna be what it was, talking. And you know what boxing fans did? Instead of them talking shit to say these motherfuckers are bullshitting us, they're running their mouths, they don't want to fight. They're sitting there doing videos saying, you see their standoff. So now we as boxing fans have gotten so bad that we are impressed by motherfuckers talking shit in each other's face. It's a thing that makes you say,
I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Exactly.
Truth be told, I'm an Errol Spence fan. I ain't even give a fuck when Errol Spence checked Terrence Crawford, because I already knew that. He ain't telling me that I ain't know. When he told Terrence Crawford, I'll stop your little ass, I already knew that.
No, but he told his ass, dog, he told his ass 3 times. You too like the ass. I was straight up stop you. When he said that, I was like, I felt the chills behind that. That's when I knew Bud wasn't shit. And you know what Bud did? This is how you knew Bud felt that. Bud then started. This is how you know when somebody got you. Bud then started going into banter and satire, and he started saying, "Do the stanky leg, do the stank, motherfucker." This motherfucker just said I was straight up stop you. Why are you dancing and saying do the stanky leg?
Right?
Is that a premonition of you knowing that when he said you gonna stop you, you gonna do the stanky leg? That's what I was thinking in my mind.
That's what he did against Gamboa.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. He knows. Here's the thing. I just found out Ronald Finkley.
Facts or something.
Ronald Finkley is actually good for this channel. You want to know why?
He is. I love him.
Ronald Finkley know that he know the bullshit. He like to play. He know Bud ain't shit.
Yeah.
He know it. But he like to play, man.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's what I want to say.
Here go this Budman fan. I got to get on him. Wayman Casey. Wayman, did you get right? Remember that was the dude that told you when you said Spence will stop Bud, you was like, get the fuck out of here, man. You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Yeah.
Are you still a Budman fan, bro?
I remember that shit. Yeah.
Or you came to light. You came to the light. I need to know.
Ronald Finkley, you don't got Bud. Quit lying, nigga. You know better.
You see what he said? Yeah, I got right, bro. Damn right your ass got right. Because you learn after that Mean Machine fight, I better get the fuck away from Bud.
What people don't realize is the reason why what's Devin Haney's father's name? Mm-hmm. What's Devin Haney's father's name?
Oh, Bill Haney.
The reason why Bill Haney ain't got his fighter his son ready to fight Tank and is always talking around that is because Tank is that dude that lives on the same street as you that you tell your son, hey, don't fuck with that boy over there. But if he fuck with you, don't run. Fight him back. But hey, if you avoid that fight, avoid that fight. Son,
exactly.
Walk away from that boy right there.
Yep.
That's Tank, man.
Yep.
Bill Haney, at the end of the day, he loved his son, man. And he loved him so much, he don't want to see no part of Tank, man.
No.
At all. Everybody keeps saying Tank ain't find nobody black. Name one person black that's worth the money that Tank would get for anybody else who want to fight Tank right now.
Good fucking point. He gets more money off these Mexicans than he's off these black fighters.
Shakira Stevenson said that would be something to think about down the road. You know what that means? When I get ready.
Yes.
I don't feel like I'm big enough. I don't feel like I'm strong enough yet.
Yes.
But at least he respect boxing enough not to play with us.
Exactly. Because he got Andre Ward molded. Because Andre Ward is all about build the fighter up the right way. You could tell he been molded right.
Yeah. Ryan Garcia, big cap. Devin Haney, big cap. Teofimo Lopez, big cap. And Lomachenko is one of the biggest of all time. This nigga say he's waiting on Tank, and this nigga was playing duck, goose. Every time Tank comes to where he leaves. Or he tried to leave.
Yeah, he was. But you know what? And me and Ross talked about this shit offline, but I'm going to tell y'all this. I honestly still wanted Lomachenko to be in that position because I'm going to be honest with you. Lomachenko will play the politics, but he wouldn't have played it out in an exaggerated level like you see him from Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. Plus, we see that Bob Arum can finesse Lomachenko in a way to where he can get Lomachenko to do what he wants Lomachenko to do. You see Teofimo Lopez? Teofimo Lopez has become Bob Arum's biggest fucking headache. Because Bob Arum's used to just telling a fighter, hey, you go out there and you just fucking do this, and the motherfucker will do it.
That nigga said, Teofimo
Lopez and them rebelling. They ain't doing it.
They ain't doing that shit.
Hey, they ain't doing that shit.
Sade Loden said Ronald is the new Jalik the Leader. Yeah, Jalik the Leader be trolling, man.
Whoa, shit. That dude,
that's
boy.
The truth.
God.
Niggas just be trolling.
I ran that dude off their channel. When I had that live with him, people were saying that live was so lopsided and embarrassing, Spence versus, but you know, he hit me back up, was like, I'm not doing no more lives no more. And I asked him why. And you know, he was just like, man, I'm looking at the comments and it looked like, you know, it's just Spence fans. And I said, listen, man, it has nothing to do with that. You just got body bagged. You got buried real bad. You didn't bring up no fucking points. And you just don't want to do it anymore. And you know that it's going to be a revolving cycle of that over and over again. And I get it. You don't want to be an online human punching bag. So if I was in your position, I wouldn't want to be an online human punching bag every week too. So you good. And then I moved on from the situation.
That he lost and find something else to debate about.
That's it.
Losing an online debate ain't the end of the world.
That's it. And he's sitting there.
You have a habit of getting your ass handed to you. It's a problem.
And he's sitting there, hey, Sade Loden, you need to go watch our basketball lives where Jalik the Leader was sitting there, beta male smooching up this chick that we had on our lives, but she was too busy checking out Ross. This shit was funny as hell. I was just sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh, she's not checking for you like that. She's not checking for your ass. But he was begging, boy. He was Keith motherfucking Sweat begging. She said, I do watch him. You go watch it. Go watch what Jalik the Leader was just basically trying to find a way to, how should I say this? Smooch her. Basically, he's that motherfucker that wants to put his head in that ass and just sit there and marinate. And you'll see the way that she reacted towards him. She reacted towards him basically by saying, you're automatically friend zone.
Right.
Damn right I took it so, man. Jalik the Leader is easy fucking work, man. A lot of these guys on YouTube are easy work.
Easy, man.
They're really not hard because a lot of them, this is their problem. They can't think past themselves. And once you can't think past yourself, you easy for me. Because you got to be able to see things on both sides of the aisle. I always see things on both sides of the aisle. That's why I'm always able to beat anybody in a fucking debate. It's because I'm always able to see shit on both sides of the aisle. And you in this YouTube world, I'm undefeated with one stalemate, dog. And it's the man that you see that's sitting, that's on this live right next to me. That's the only fucking stalemate I got on YouTube. Other than that, I'm undefeated. Nobody has beaten me on any fucking debates in any given moment. My last one was a washing of Monty Brown because Monty Brown was trying to justify Jaron Ennis. And I left that live. And this is the thing. This is how I know he was super easy work. I was getting mail. I was driving. I was doing all kinds of shit and still washed them. Because the points that I brought up, they could not be refuted. You cannot compare one guy to the next guy if you don't have validation to justify the comparisons that you're making. If you tell me you was just dick riding, then the debate would have been over.
Right.
Basically, you on your knees. If you tell me you on your knees and you a bootlicker, debate's over. But if you don't tell me that, then we have a problem. Because you can't compare any of these young and upcoming motherfuckers with special fighters. You just can't do that. And that's the problem with our boxing fans. They want to compare anybody with any fucking body.
The way you did him, it sounded like the way I did D Sports.
You left him on suicide watch, dog, because that motherfucker didn't know. Like he likes to get you to ramp up to his level, and all you got to do is just stay monotone to your level. If you stay monotone to your level, right, that in of itself is causing an anxiety and a depression with that dude. And it's causing that dude to try to figure out, okay, how do I get around this? And then when he finally figures that out, it's already too late. He's already too deep in the hole.
Right, because people were in the comments saying, is D having a nervous breakdown? They're like, Ross is super calm.
Yep.
Like this shit don't mean nothing to him, but D's having
Yep.
a breakdown. I had already won just by my demeanor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The way that I used to handle him is I used to just laugh at him. And he don't like to be there's some people in life they don't like to be laughed at. I used to just straight laugh at him, and that used to bother him. And then I would, because there's other people on the live, I would make sure that his next round is after 3 more people go.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit would irritate him and piss him off, because you're not saying anything that makes sense. You just want to be the loudest person in the room. And we've always said that the loudest person in the room is usually the most insecure. That's just the way the shit rolls.
Everybody idiots that's obviously way smarter than you.
Exactly. Exactly. If I listen, man, I done said this already. I'm gonna say this on this live. If I'm damn near close to 50 years old and I have a charred up white beater and I'm sitting there and I'm smoking weed and I'm doing 100 videos a day and I'm still at Ross forced me to go see that shit. I'm still at 2.7K subscribers. Y'all take a gun, ship that shit over to Alaska. Let me get it. Tell y'all that I received the gun. I'm gonna step out of my fourplex, go to the backyard. I'll put this on video so I watch this shit. Put a gun to my head and off myself, and watch me fall into the 6 feet deep hole. That's what D need to do. You need to do that and be done with it. And just be done with the shit. When it's all said and done, man, from a boxing standpoint and from a standpoint of just overall boxing fans are what's wrong with the sport. And that's the point that I want to harp on, because I'm going to go into Claressa Shields. See, this is going to connect. This shit is going to connect. EJ88 laughing. Hey, you know it's that Florida shit, EJ88. You know we got to climb. EJ88 was one of those motherfuckers. Before I jump on this one, EJ88, that's my nigga right there. One of these days, when I get to Duval County, me and Ross, I'm going to go and pick up Ross on the East Coast. We're going to jump down to Duval. You going to show us a good fucking time in Duval. Hey, Ross,
Silver
they
Fox.
got
He got to take us to the Silver Fox. I still remember.
They got some bitches in Jacksonville, though, so we need to head down there.
There's a strip club called Silver Fox. I don't know what it is, but when I go there, I always get lucky.
Okay, then that's where we're going to be at. EJ88, you heard us. So, hey, we holding you to it. But the reason why I brought up EJ88 is because EJ88 said out of his mouth, and I'm going to pull him up, and this shit going to make Ross laughing instantly. Why you got D on your fucking lives? Why you got that charred up nigga on your live? That dude look bad. He don't stand next to you, bruh. He don't stand next to us Florida cats. He said that. He was one of the cats to say that.
He was telling the truth.
And EJ88, I should have listened to your ass sooner than I needed to, man. But I couldn't. So it is what it is. He would say, haha, y'all boys, wow, Lord, that boy Ross know about the Silver Fox. LOL. That's why I need to link up with y'all so I can get down to Silver Fox. See what's up with the Silver Fox.
I got so much kitty out of the Silver Fox, boy.
Okay. Yeah. So it's already a link up. We already linking up. When we in Duval, we hitting your ass up, EJ88. But now I'm segueing to this point. Boxing fans, Ross, boxing fans, EJ88, are so backwards that they do 2 things. This is for the black man and the black woman. The black boxer, that's the male, and the black female, that's the boxer. They will take the black male and they will oppress them. They will take the black female and downtrodden them. Mm-hmm. This is what they're doing. This is what they've done to Floyd Mayweather. This is what they've done to Gervonta Tank Davis. This is what they've done to Errol Spence. We don't talk about the Charlo brothers enough, but they've talked shit about the Charlo brothers so much to the point that at sometimes even Jamel has allowed it to get in his head and go backwards on this shit instead of staying strong.
I only talk about Jamal. To me, the Jamel.
Yes.
Hey man, I'm not.
And I can understand. And I can understand why you're saying that.
Yeah.
And I can understand why you're saying that. But here's the thing: segueing into Claressa Shields, why And who is advising Claressa Shields to tell her that you're also a MMA fighter? Why didn't she just stay to fucking boxing? See, this is the problem with boxing fans. This is the problem with combat sport fans. They are a bunch of peon brains. They don't know business. They don't know how to govern affairs. They're not business advisors. They're not out for people's best interests. You know what they want to see? They want to see motherfuckers get their head split in. And see, what Claressa Shields did is Claressa Shields fell into that trap of pleasing every damn body. Let me tell you something, Ross, and I'm going to give you an admission. I don't know if you're going to agree with it or whatnot, but Floyd pissed me off with Maidana, and I'm going to tell you why. Because in that first fight, Floyd said out of his mouth, I'm going to give boxing fans what they want. I'm going to go toe-to-toe with him. Floyd didn't even need to fucking do that. Floyd should have just washed his ass the first time around so there wouldn't even be two fucking fights. Now, I understand why in the grand scheme Floyd did it, because Floyd probably saw the forecast that, you know what, I could get two fights out of this motherfucker. I can build it up. So I understand the genius behind the business aspect of it. I get that. But my thing is, why even give these motherfuckers room to even think that a motherfucker is doing something, even when we know the motherfucker ain't doing something? Why not just wash the person altogether and be done with it? That was the only time that I was mad at Floyd, because Floyd knew he had the skill set. He knew he had the ability, but that time he just was on some let me please the fan shit. When you please the fucking fans, you put yourself in a precarious situation. And I can't stand that shit. And here's the bigger picture here. Claressa Shields got all of these people around her, but no one told her, you already rising up as a star in boxing. Like, you're already successful. She didn't need to go to MMA for people to know who the fuck she was. We already knew her.
Yeah, but she was supposed to be a bigger star. So
thank you.
Go. Let me know when you're done, because I don't want to cut you off.
No. It's all good. I'm glad you gave that interjection. But let me just say this. He said LDBC was Wilder downfall. He fell for hero worship shit. Thank you, EJ88. I'm glad you was real in being able to say that shit. A lot of motherfuckers don't have the balls to say that. But you from Florida, so I expect great points from you. The thing with Claressa Shields is, why the fuck would you want to go to MMA? It's not your sport. You're not a subject matter expert at that. Clint Eastwood said in Magnum Force, a man must know his limitations. In every respective sport, just because you dominate one, that don't mean you're going to dominate another sport like that. MMA is not your sport. Boxing is your sport. So why not stay your rabbit ass in your motherfucking lane? And you know why she couldn't do that, Ross? Because she didn't have an Al Heyman. She didn't have a Floyd Mayweather. She didn't have a PBC. She didn't have an independent contractor to teach her, value yourself. You are a black queen. You don't need to fall for the scapegoat. Who was the first ones laughing at her ass when she lost? It was these white motherfuckers. Yep. And you know what they've been brainwashing her to tell her? You need to keep on fighting so that you could get better. No, translation, you need to keep on fighting if you want to know hit it cold, so your ass can fucking lose and keep losing your stock. That's what they want. And people don't fucking get it. So to me, that loss was something that was going to happen eventually, because she was out of her subject matter expertise.
Mm-hmm. The thing about it is, I did a video about this. I said boxing failed Claressa. The reason why I think Claressa Shields has been undisputed in 2 different weight classes.
Yep.
I don't think that's ever been done before, number one. And number 2, it's pure utter dominance. Yep. She's supposed to have been on Wheaties boxes. She was supposed to have these what the fuck you call them, man? Commercials, but they call it something else.
Gatorade commercials?
Endorsements?
Endorsement?
These endorsements, everything. But when you're a black woman, when you're a black man dominated and you self-employed and you self-controlled, or if you're a black woman dominated, guess what? They do you like they do Serena Williams.
Yep.
And we as black people, we failed it. We didn't say nothing. Now, I say
Yep.
we didn't talk about all of us.
Yep.
We talked about Serena Williams. Champ side talked about Serena Williams, but most of us didn't say anything. We didn't give a fuck about. We didn't give a fuck about Serena. We didn't give a fuck about Claressa Shields.
Facts.
She's a woman. At the end of the day, this is not to knock her, because there's some men that do this. People are human. They want to feel appreciated, man.
Yeah.
She took her ass over there to MMA because they welcomed her, and MMA actually gave her more. The actual community of MMA gave her more love than she was getting at boxing, and that should never be it. She should never have went to MMA to get that love. She just got that love at home. So she went to MMA. She got a win, and they showed her more love on her win in MMA than you ever saw after a win in her boxing career.
Facts.
No, but that shit was everywhere. It was viral. I did a video, a short video, and that shit got like 10,000 views in like 3 days. Why isn't that the case in boxing? And that's the reason why she would, because people are human at the end of the day. Very few people can say this is only about the money. I would like to be praised, but fuck it. Most people, they want their praise too. And that's what boxing, when it comes to black fighters, most majority of them, they don't give a fuck.
Yep.
And we as boxing fans, we give a fuck until the boxer loses, and then we off the mad wagon. We have to realize that we have to hold our people accountable, and we got to hold them down. I'm holding Deontay Wilder accountable, but I'm still holding him down. I know he was up against some shit. I boxed before. You will never see boxing gloves like that. Not even amateur sports. You will never see boxing gloves that look like they've been worn before, like they've been beat against bricks.
Let me just make this one quick interjection. Going back to what EJ88 said, LDBC was Wilder's downfall. He fell for the hero worship shit. That's what it was for me. I agree. That's why I was mad at Deontay Wilder, because one, Deontay Wilder, you have Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather. I mean, this is what pissed me off with people. You got Floyd Mayweather at your disposal, and you're not using it. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is? That's why I said Devin Haney is going to be the new Deontay Wilder. But I'm giving him the Deontay Wilder caution because he ain't listening to fucking Floyd.
One thing I don't like about their names being in the same sentence. Devin Haney don't fight nobody. Deontay Wilder he held a championship down for 5 years and got 10 title defenses. But I see what you're saying.
It ain't even a comparison point.
But I feel like that's very disrespectful.
And you have every right to find that shit every day. You have every right to find that shit disrespectful. But you know why I always make everything so disrespectful? Is because I want people to get the point. Like, it has nothing to do with the careers. Obviously, the trajectory of the career, Deontay Wilder runs circles around fucking Devin Haney. It just is the linear point of you have Floyd Mayweather at your disposal, and you're not using that. The people that have used Floyd Mayweather and continue to use Floyd Mayweather, look at them. They're undefeated. Errol Spence, Gervonta Davis, the Charlo brothers. They are fucking defeated because they use Floyd.
One child was undefeated.
Yes.
But
one Charlo's undefeated. My bad. They use Floyd.
But one thing we can't do, we can't, as soon as one of black fighters lose, stop. Just be like, oh, fuck them now because they lost. It's actually normal to lose a fight in boxing. We hold everybody to Floyd standard. Everybody not gonna beat Floyd, man.
That's true. Everybody is not gonna beat Floyd. And I agree with that.
They're gonna lose. It's what you do after you lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you do after you lose.
My problem with Wilder has nothing to do with that, because I agree with everything you said. My problem with Wilder is you have alpha males at the highest levels at your disposal, and you're seeking counsel from beta males. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? That's my problem.
EJ88 said it. The LDBC. You gotta understand who opposes Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather Jr. The LDBC. They use and they made Wilder go against Floyd and Al Heyman.
Yep.
They blinded him with flattery. which he took as love, because he's a genuine person.
Mm-hmm.
He's loyal. He's a genuine person. He took that as real love, but really they were just using him to hate
They
on
used to
Floyd.
abuse his ass, boy.
Yeah, using him to hate on Floyd and for content.
Mm-hmm.
If Deontay Wilder stops giving LDBC interviews, they'll start talking about him like he ain't shit.
Oh, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna dish rag him. They're gonna say he got exposed. They're gonna talk
Right,
shit about him. They gonna say Tyson Fury beat his ass. I'm telling you, I know how these motherfuckers roll. They gonna say that. You're gonna see them flip modes quick, fast, in a hurry like UP fucking S, man. That's just the way they fucking roll. They will say that. See, me, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I like somebody, I'm not gonna lie. I like Deontay Wilder.
I know you
I
do.
rock with Deontay Wilder, but when I saw that Deontay Wilder was making those moves, I could not see how that was gonna be beneficial for him. It's like I saw his downfall before his downfall happened.
He needed
Because
Floyd,
you cannot have that level of eliteness at your disposal and not use it. Because if Floyd was managing him, Floyd would have brought his whole team in there. Leonard Ellaby would have been checking those gloves. There wouldn't have been no fucking camera being turned off.
Yep.
Basically, they would have dominated everything.
And
would Floyd get the credit? Yes. Yeah. But at least you walk away with a fucking W.
Well, Deontay Wilder gets the credit because he actually won the fight. But Floyd will get the credit because it'll be on the Floyd Mayweather Productions, all that shit. He said something that you can't disagree with. Wilder got caught up in the pro-black antics, so he could never take advice from Floyd. The so-called pro-black antics. Because real pro-black know you take advice for the black man that's been there. True pro-black means you take advice from another black man. You don't fight against the established black man. You take his advice. If he's telling you the truth. You don't come in and let other people tell you, don't listen to him. Don't listen to a 50-0 champion.
Let me let you tear this one to shreds, dog. You got to tear this one to shreds, dog. This is disrespectful right here. Before you continue your point, this is disrespectful, bro.
Man, Ronald Finkley thing is Ronald Finkley. He ain't gonna give me no more. Ronald Finkley is a troll, man.
Yeah, all right, finish saying what you were saying.
Ronald Finkley is a troll. This is the same dude. This is the same dude that said that Bud is just as good as Floyd. Yeah, troll, man. I don't. I know he just be saying shit. He just be talking.
All right, finish your point, man. My bad.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, they and I think this might be all this shit might be set up from Wilder's beginning. They call him the Bronze Bomber.
Yep.
Joe Louis was called the Brown Bomber. And Joe Louis' contract, it was contractual that he could not be anything like Jack Johnson. Contractual. And that was the problem they had with Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali had to tell him, I'm going to be the champion. Like, I want to be the champion. Not how y'all want me to be the champion. They wanted Muhammad Ali to be the same way. To be like Joe Louis. Head down, say stupid shit like the government love us and all types of fugazi shit. The problem with that is they said, okay, we're going to allow you to say all the pro-black shit, Deontay Wilder, but you have to be against Floyd. And notice he'll have, every now and then, out of nowhere, he'll say he's not going to be like Floyd. He's going to be a real excited fight. He'll say shit he'll say shit like disrespectful to Floyd. Sean did the same thing. The guy that's going to fight Terrence.
Sean Porter.
Sean Porter, the same thing. Errol Spence didn't do it. They don't like Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford didn't do it. They don't like Terrence Crawford. But all the other fight, Keith Thurman, they like Keith Thurman, even though Keith Thurman lost all his big fights. Every big fight, the biggest fight of Keith Thurman's life, he lost. But they like Keith Thurman. Everybody who has said something negative about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and about Al Heyman, they have shown love to in the media.
Yep.
These guys would rather take the love than take the real legacy, the money. I need everybody on this live to go look up the real definition of legacy. It has nothing to do with sports.
Nope.
Money, assets, land.
Yep.
The shit you leave and your family name, the shit you leave for your children, that's your legacy.
That's legacy.
And your children are your legacy.
Yep.
That's your legacy. Not no fucking belts, not no pound for pound list, not nothing no white man tell you, oh, we deem you as the greatest fighter, none of that shit. Because they can lie to you in your face. You got some people saying that Manny Pacquiao is better than Floyd. They make people great with the media.
Yep.
But we know what we saw. I don't give a fuck what somebody say. They saying Floyd, they saying Kobe Bryant in the top 10 player. That's what ESPN saying. Yep. I'm saying fuck y'all. I know what I saw.
Yep.
I know the fuck I saw in my eyes, man. Can't tell me. Can't tell me that Kobe Bryant ain't one of the best to ever do it. And you can't tell me that Kobe Bryant was as big as Kevin Durant. He would have broke all the records in the world. Listen, Kobe Bryant was only limited by his physical body.
There you go.
That was it. As far as playing basketball, if you roll out a ball on the court where there ain't nobody to cover the game, you're gonna walk away from that court saying that nigga's the best player on that court. Or maybe that bald black nigga, he probably better, but them niggas is the best. Then that tall, lanky nigga, Durant, whatever his name is, that nigga, he up there too. That's it. Everybody else is gonna blend into the background. Those three niggas gonna stand out, and Kobe gonna be near the top, skill wise. But that's how basketball. That's how they do basketball. They trying to tell you Errol Spence ain't that good. That's what they telling you, and we just eating it up. You gotta realize is our opinion of shit means more than the media. Fuck what the media gotta say.
Facts.
What do you know what I'm saying? Me, he knows. Why not me? He knows get along. It's because we got our own opinions.
Yep.
And we don't give a fuck with nobody. Not even what each other got to say. If we feel a certain way about something, we got respect for each other. But we ain't changing what I said.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
You don't like it? I like that shit. We'll talk later. You know what I'm saying? Over some drinks. But we don't say what we got to say. And y'all got to be the same way too. When you watching sports, when you watching boxing, stop letting these guys tell you you're not seeing what you're seeing, man.
Exactly.
You know you see Tank. You know you ain't nobody fucking with Tank at 135, man. Y'all know that. Y'all know ain't nobody fucking with Tank at 135. Y'all know ain't nobody fucking with Errol Spence at 147. Y'all know that, man. Y'all know that. Stop letting these people tell you what to think about black people, man. Stop letting people tell you that, man. Because they always do that. As soon as a black person reaches a certain level of success, they start putting them in a predicament, making you feel like you can't relate to them no more. And what do we? And black people, we can't relate to you no more. We cut you off.
That's it.
But you gotta think about it, man. Why are they doing this? Why the hell are they talking down specific fighters? They don't talk down on all black fighters.
Yep.
Specific ones.
Yep.
And we the only ones that can't lose no fight. If we lose the fight, the career over with. They saying Deontay Wilder need to retire right now. Damn. Pacquiao lost how many times? 8? They still want Pacquiao to fight. How come Deontay Wilder got to retire? Pacquiao don't got to retire.
Yeah, I never went that far to say that. What I just said is he's mentally fractured, in my estimation, because when you lose like that at that level, and it's the top for their era, no matter what the circumstances are, whether it's cheating or not, it's gonna affect you psychologically, and it's gonna have a rippling effect. Now, can Wilder beat? This is my estimation. Now you're gonna say I'm being disrespectful, but you know me, I'm giving my point. Wilder to me can beat Dillian White levels and below, easy, all fucking day of the week, 24/7. I honestly think he can knock out Anthony Joshua too. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If Anthony Joshua smartens up and gets with an American trainer, that fight is gonna look completely different. I'm actually gonna pick Anthony Joshua. If his fucking ass get with an American trainer, I'm gonna pick Anthony Joshua. And you know why I'm gonna pick Anthony Joshua? Because Anthony Joshua at that moment would have done something that Deontay Wilder continuously fails to do, which is get out of his own head. This is why, to me, Deontay Wilder, and Ross gonna be like, don't do that, don't do that. Deontay Wilder is the same as fucking Russell Westbrook. When Chris Broussard said that shit was true.
No, man.
Because they both hard-headed, they both prideful, they both don't develop their skills, and they both don't get out of their own way, man, and see the bigger fucking picture. But that's the part that I think that they are the same in a lot of fucking ways.
That's
in my estimation.
But you have to match accomplishment with accomplishment, man. If we're being honest, Russell Westbrook has accomplished nothing in the NBA all the years he's been playing. All he accomplished is triple doubles, man. You know what I'm saying? But
you ain't lying about that.
But he is hard headed.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to the fundamentals.
Nope.
He's not taking anybody's advice.
Yeah.
But the comparison is disrespectful. Deontay Wilder at the end of the day is a champ. I would say Deontay Wilder is more. I say Deontay Wilder is like, it's kind of like Pacquiao with less losses. Pacquiao never cleaned up his boxing because he was so dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So he never cleaned up his fundamentals whatsoever. And if Wilder don't clean it up, he'll be a heavyweight version of Pacquiao, man.
Yep.
When he could be so much more. He could be so much more, man.
Mm-hmm. But when Broussard was making that comparison, he was talking about the pride, the hard-headedness, the unwillingness to evolve, the skill set, and just basically act like your shit don't stink. Just believe that what you've been doing is what it is.
That's the case. You should have said LeBron James. And then I would say, yeah, that makes sense. Because LeBron James is a champion. With the same issues as Westbrook, LeBron James know that, okay, I got to put a team around me so that when I get these same stats I get every day, I can still win. And Russell Westbrook don't give a fuck. He just want his stats. He don't even give a fuck if he wins.
Yeah.
LeBron James, at the end of the day, he still cared whether he win or lose.
Yep. But see, you know why the Russell Westbrook comparison? Because Russell Westbrook, everybody, if you notice, in Russell Westbrook's orbit, everyone has to adjust to him. He don't adjust to other people. I just looked at this article right before we went on live where it said that LeBron did not defer to Wade when he played in Miami. LeBron did not defer to Kyrie Irving and them when they played to Cleveland, which, that's not all the way necessarily true, but I can understand why they're saying that. But then they turn around and they said LeBron's going to have to adjust his game to Russell Westbrook. With Russell Westbrook, you got to make the adjustment. He's never going to make the fucking adjustment. So that comparison is spot on because with Wilder wasn't trying to listen to nobody, man. Wilder was just trying to focus on Deontay Wilder, dog.
Westbrook not no champion, man.
He was just trying to focus on himself. And he was listening. Let me tell you why the comparison is spot on. Because of the fact that you're gonna laugh.
Decent comparison, but
Aaron Jones, you're gonna laugh at this one. You're gonna say this spot on. The fact that Deontay Wilder, come on, Ross, and this shit gonna make your ass laugh. The fact that Deontay Wilder took advisement from the LDBC, that's Russell Westbrook behavior, man. Come on, man. That's Russell Westbrook behavior.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying it's not a spot on. It can't be a spot on. Russell Westbrook has not accomplished nothing, you know? You see what I'm saying? Russell Westbrook don't even have the cachet to even be doing that, what he's doing. He ain't earned that right to even say, nah, I ain't gonna listen to you, fuck you. He ain't earned that right because he ain't do nothing without nobody. You know what I'm saying? As ill-advised as it is, at least Wilder could say, I became a champion without you, so let me try my own way. What has Westbrook ever accomplished to say?
He ain't accomplished shit.
But he had accomplished to say, I don't gotta listen to Kobe.
He ain't accomplished shit.
Nothing.
He ain't accomplished shit.
Everybody.
He ain't accomplished shit. But Wilder in the last, we could say this. Outside of what you just said, though, those points were great. In the last 2 years, he has been Russell Westbrook. In the way that he's carried himself, in the way that he's reacted to situations, and the pride, man. Because pride always comes before a fall. And people got to understand that. When somebody reaches out to you and they're at a level that is above you, and that person is genuinely reaching out to you because they want to help, a lot of times you got to take yourself out of the equation and you got to see why that person is doing the things that they're doing, what their real intentions are. Floyd just genuinely wanted to keep the black heavyweight, the premier dominant heavyweight in the division. That was, if you honestly want to know why Floyd did that, I think that was the bigger reason. Do I think he gives a fuck about Deontay Wilder like that? And no, because Deontay Wilder has said a lot of shit against him. But I honestly believe that Floyd was looking at it as,
Floyd got very thick skin though. He didn't care.
We want to keep the premier heavyweight black.
Right.
We want to see that it's a black guy that's dominating. And Floyd believes in these types of things. And PBC. So that's why he did it. Because at the end of the day, it's the bottom line. It's the bottom line factor.
People hate Floyd, but Floyd got a lot of black pride. He's more economical. He's more, what's the dude's name? Claude, the black pride dude that's on economics.
Oh yeah, Claude Anderson. Claude Anderson.
See, when you look at Wilder's Umar.
Mm-hmm.
Wilder be talking a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, Wilder be on some fugazi shit too. Floyd is more on the Claude shit, on the Dr. Claude shit. But it's all black upliftment at the end of the day. What I need from Deontay Wilder is for him to put his career before his flattery. You can easily control him with flattery.
Yep.
You can easily control him with flattery. And that's the reason why it pays to have, and people always say Floyd Sr., he ruined Floyd Jr., he was too tough on Floyd. The reason why can't nobody take advantage of Floyd right now is because of Floyd Sr., man.
Yep.
He don't never believe his shit it don't stink because his father told him all the time that, man, your shit stink, man.
Yep.
Like, listen, man, you Floyd Mayweather Jr. Can't nobody fuck with you, but the way you fighting right now, I'm not a fan.
Yep.
So when you got somebody like that raising you, you never get to the point where you can't get better.
Exactly.
And I'm quite sure he hated that shit when he was a kid.
Yep.
But I'm quite sure he glad to say that's his father right now.
Yep. Because
Floyd Mayweather, that nigga, the way he is, he would have been in jail, man.
Yep.
Floyd Mayweather would have been somebody in jail right now. Because he was going to get to the money regardless.
Yep.
He would have been a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He would have been in somebody's jail right now if it wasn't for his father. That's the thing that's missing, man. Not to say Deontay Wilder had a father too, that was in the church. But the thing that's missing is sometimes we have to realize as black men, we can't coddle none of our kids, but we definitely can't coddle the boys, man.
Yep.
The boys need to learn that, yo, you really at war if you're a black man.
Yep.
House.
Yep.
You at war, yo. That's what people don't realize. This shit ain't no game, man. When you go and you sign these contracts with these white folks, it ain't no game. They try to see just how as soon as you sign that contract, they try to figure a way how to get all that fucking money back from you, man.
And lynch you in the process.
As soon as you sign that shit, they try to get all that money back from you, man. You know what I'm saying? You in the military, you know this. So all of a sudden they try to see you up to court martial and shit.
Yep.
They try to send you up to NJP. You like, man, for this? They try to get money back. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way. It's just a microcosm of America. Sports is just a microcosm. They wanted to list Deontay Wilder, and he allowed them to.
And
he allowed them to have him turn his back on the only guy that could have saved him out that predicament, because he was in the predicament before. Floyd Mayweather was the only guy that could have helped him remain undefeated. None of that shit happens under Floyd watch. The glove shit don't happen.
Nope.
The all the camera fugazi shit don't happen.
Nope.
Not under Floyd watch. Cause they too scared of Floyd.
Yep.
The PED shit.
Because Floyd would have blasted all up. Floyd is a master of blasting stuff in the media. He has that Phil Jackson type of thing with him. If he sees something off, that shit getting publicized.
He don't care. He don't care if you got to pay a fine and none of that shit.
Yep.
You gonna? This how you knew that? This how you knew he had Pacquiao hot and bothered. I'm gonna use your term. Hot and bothered like fucking grits.
Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao supposed to be a fighter, and you know how fighters talk shit and say shit. Sometimes they even lie. Did Lewis? Did he sue Tyson for saying he'll rape his kids? No, he beat this motherfucker up. Man, Pacquiao, he sued Floyd. He tried to sue Floyd for saying he was on PEDs. That's how you know, man. and that's how you know. Man,
Floyd got time for that bullshit, man.
He got hot and bothered, and he tried to sue Floyd Mayweather for saying he was on PEDs.
Yep.
But Floyd didn't care. He's like, fuck it, I'll take this hit if it comes down to it, because this is going to allow me to get a fair fight.
Yep.
Because now people got to look like, yo, how the fuck did this dude go from getting knocked out at 108 pounds to knocking niggas out at 154 pounds.
Facts.
That's not even. I boxed before. That don't happen, man.
That don't happen.
That don't happen. There's very few people that can carry their weight, to carry their power, and they can't carry that far. Very few people can carry their power up that many weight classes, man.
Yeah,
those guys probably in jail.
His performances after Floyd through the suspicion, which ended up becoming reality. Out. Look at his performances after the fact. It was nowhere near the same. Nowhere near the same. So he was artificially enhanced. These are facts.
He got exposed by Floyd. He ain't knocked nobody else out after that.
Nope.
Think about that, man. If you got power, then you got power.
You got power. Power don't go nowhere.
After he was exposed by Floyd, what happened to the power, man?
Gone.
And don't give me this Keith Thurman shit, because Keith Thurman get hurt by everybody.
How you drop Chris Algieri 8 times, but you can't finish him? That shit don't make no sense.
You can't finish him. Wraps all this power. Listen, man. Floyd Mayweather was fucking right, bro. This nigga they made him out of the thin air.
Yep. Yep. And remember, he was you know who was pushing Manny Pacquiao at that time? Brian Kenny. And Floyd told him, Floyd told him, you're a man of many things, and then a man of nothing. Some shit like that, though.
A master of nothing.
Yeah, a master of nothing. That shit was hilarious, though.
You're a man of many traits and a master of nothing. And then he said, man, he said, I guarantee you your job will pay like my job. And this how he knew Brian Kenny was on some bullshit. He said, are you sure about that, Floyd? And Floyd's like, please. This how you know Brian Kenny was on bullshit. He don't get that money, he'll get paid like Floyd at ESPN. Yep. He tried to make that a debate. And Floyd
canceled him all. Floyd canceled him. Floyd was like, man, get out of here with that shit.
Yo, Ronald Fickle pissing me off with this ESPN shit.
Yeah.
Don't nobody watch those fights, nigga. Don't nobody watch some ESPN fights, my nigga. This shit better work. Bro, who fighting, man? Who watch fights on ESPN, dog? I only watch PBC fights. I catch the instant replay with ESPN joints, man. I don't respect that shit, man. You need to stop that. You a grown ass man talking about ESPN. Somebody watch that shit, man. The people in the stadium don't listen, man. The people in the stadium don't even have a full conversation when the fight's going on. Don't nobody give a fuck about ESPN fighters, dog. You automatically know who's gonna win. All the fights, you know who's gonna win at ESPN. You already know who's gonna win, man. Fuck that, man.
Oh shit.
Ronald Fickle, man, you starting to worry me, bro.
Well, you said he's part of D's molding, so being in D's molding, that shit will fuck you up. But anyways, I'm glad we touched up on all these points, man, because we had to break it down. Now the last segment, and I feel like we need to touch it, is Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant, man. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that Caleb Plant is not afraid of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And see, Caleb Plant said the other day, growing up, we were not afraid of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We just ate it. Canelo Alvarez is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Easy. When you look at Caleb Plant's the bigger guy. He's naturally 168. So it's not an epiphany. It's not magic. It's not poof that he can't get the knockout. No, he very well can get the knockout. And if you notice, Floyd now has also corresponded behind Andre Ward to say that he's picking Caleb Plant for the knockout. And you could start seeing why, because Floyd basically said, and Floyd brought up hellified points, Canelo Alvarez loses rounds. Floyd would know this because he was in the ring with him. He says Canelo Alvarez loses rounds. So let's not sit here and act like Caleb Plant cannot take advantage of those rounds that he's losing. And here's the other thing too. Caleb Plant is the better boxer. He's way slicker
than Canelo.
Yes, and he's slicker. So I don't see if Caleb Plant sticks to the game plan, he comes in there with confidence, he doesn't get rattled, he doesn't get caught up into this whole boxing judging gifting decision nonsense. His conditioning is on point. He basically puts the foot to the gas pedal every fucking round, and he doesn't admire his punches. If he does all of that, how's he gonna lose the fucking fight?
The test is going to be for me. This fight is if Caleb Plant has the chin. If he has the chin, if he can take Canelo Alvarez's power, because Canelo Alvarez, he has to. So if you ask me, Canelo Alvarez got to knock him out, not just because he might get outboxed, but because if he struggles with Caleb Plant, it's gonna show. Oh, this is the reason why you ain't want to fight Andre. This is the reason why you ain't want to fight no black fighters. This is the reason why you ain't want to fight Benavidez. Because truth be told, you struggle with Caleb Plant.
Exactly.
White chocolate. This is the reason why you ain't want no dark chocolate. But you can't digest that.
That's it.
So he has to win by knockout and by dominant fashion no matter what. Caleb Plant, what he has to do, he has to make Canelo Alvarez look ordinary.
Yep.
Or stop him or make him look ordinary, one of the two. Make them look like they're not supposed to be in the same ring together. Caleb Plant got the longer arms. If he can stay off the ropes, in the middle of the ring, I don't see Canelo winning this fight. If Caleb Plant stay off the ring, keep the jab popping, drop in the rear hand, change angles, keep the jab popping, stay in the middle of the ring. Because Canelo really is not that great of a boxer, bro.
No, he's not.
He had to prove it to me because he always had an unfair advantage going into each fight.
Facts.
And when he was into somebody with a fair fight, it was a war. Every time he fought up, it was a war.
Yep.
So and my thing is this: if you so called, because he said to Floyd the other day that he's like, Floyd, I'm at your level now. Please. If you so called at Floyd level, man, you're supposed to be dominating these top fighters.
Facts.
What top fighter has Canelo ever dominated?
None. You got to have names on your resume. You got to have names.
But that's the thing, man. I don't. Me. I don't have a personal problem with Monty Brown, but when it comes to this Canelo Alvarez shit, I can't fuck with him because I can't see it. I don't understand it. Canelo, to me, has not done anything to merit that type of respect, bro. In the beginning, I was trying to fuck with Canelo, but then when I started seeing he was ducking these guys, because you know what, I was sleep on the duckation at 154.
Yeah,
because Floyd was still fighting and Floyd beat him, but I didn't realize he had ducked two guys live lions in that fight. In that era, he had already ducked Andre and Charlo already. Then he did it again at 160.
Yep.
So when I started looking at the history, I said, "Oh, when it comes to prime black fighters, Canelo trying to find a way out. If you can't find a way out, he try to find a caveat to where he can win, where he can win on the scales and shit." So to me, Canelo's a great Mexican fighter, not a great boxer. And it's not too hard to be a great Mexican fighter.
It's interesting you said that because for me, we have to go down the line of why Canelo got to the point that where he's gotten to. He's cinnamon toast crunch because every situation has had some kind of asterisk. Even the Floyd Mayweather fight, Adelaide Bird, split decision. I want y'all to go back and look at Cinnamon Toast Crunch's boxing career and tell me, when have you ever seen a moment where he just won on fair grounds and on fair parameters? I'll tell you the one moment. It's when he fought a motherfucker by the name of Alfredo Angulo. And the reason why? Because nobody gave a fuck about that other Mexican. They just didn't. That was the only time. If you look at every other fight, there's always been something. James Kirkland and Bishop wasn't there. Canelo's team paid her to not train him for that fight. And that was so weird because that was the person he always used. And then all of a sudden he didn't have her. He's not
and Wolf. And
Wolf. I'm saying Bishop and Wolf. In the fucking Liam Smith fight. Liam Smith was a lame duck that they gave him to introduce him to a new weight class. It was the same shit when he went up to 168 and fought Rocky Fielding. A lame duck they gave him to introduce him to the new weight class. Why isn't he fighting the best person in the weight class? And he's fighting these guys that either had regular championship belts or they were just not relevant. Well, he needs to fill his legs, but he's supposedly this great guy. Then they give him Caleb Smith, who is Liam Smith's brother, but he fights him in a COVID field year. And Caleb Smith said it in the camp, I didn't get a full 9 to 13 week training camp. Why you still went through that shit? I don't fucking know. Then he gets BJ Saunders. BJ Saunders went tooth and nail with a journeyman, and before then didn't fought for years because he was tied in litigations. Then he fights Anvil Uterim. This is a butt of all sparring joke partners. Why did that fight even happen? I don't understand it, and I want people to explain that shit to me. He fights Amir Khan, brings his ass up 2 weight classes and a pound. Damn, boy, this guy were you that afraid of Amir Khan that you had to bring him up 2 weight classes and a pound? You wanted to drain him that bad? And you know what's funny? You could tell how afraid he was of Amir Khan because in the first 5-6 rounds, Amir Khan was actually outboxing him. For a guy that went up 2 weight classes in a pound, he was outboxing him. This is how over fucking rated Cinnamon Toast Crunch is. I like that one, Joseph Selbo. He said white chocolate versus Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's tight right there. This is how overrated Cinnamon Toast Crunch is. Then let's talk about Danny Jacobs. You take a cancer patient, the level of disrespect. You take a cancer patient and rehydrate. I mean, come on. When Triple G fought Danny Jacobs, Triple G let Danny Jacobs blow up to the 186. At least Triple G had enough respect to let him be at his best. In that fight, you saw how it turned out. Canelo's not stupid. He saw how that fight turned out. He don't want to be in no precarious situation.
If Danny Jacobs wasn't so wild, he would have won that fight.
Thank you.
But he's so wild and started running in and got caught, got dropped. But after he got caught, I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you.
He looked very good.
Sergey Kovalev. Oh shit. This motherfucker got concussed in the Anthony Yarde fight. If there's any way for me to get in 175, that's the way for me to get in 175.
Right.
We gonna do that.
You fought this nigga 4 weeks later.
Thank you. You see what I'm saying? And y'all want me to sit here and respect him? And he knew, I'm sure his team got information about Sergey Kovalev with the Russian mobsters, got information about Sergey Kovalev still having a concussion. Come on, man. This is what this guy has always been. A guy that's always trying to find a situation that works in his favor. Y'all want to sit here and tell me that's on the level with Floyd Mayweather? Forget Floyd Mayweather. Y'all want to say that's on the level with Andre Ward? Oh, he's going to be undisputed at 168. Andre Ward was fighting Saki Obika. Andre Ward went through a fucking tournament where he had to fight one guy after the other, Arthur Abraham. Then he had to turn around and fight fucking Carl Froch. Then he had to turn around and fight. I mean, this guy was constantly fighting fighters in this tournament and knocking their ass out and beating the shit out of them. This Andre Ward fought Chad Dawson. A Cinnamon Toast Crunch would never fight a Chad Dawson at that time. Never. So don't sit here and tell me that he's better than Andre Ward at 168. No. Because Andre Ward did everything you're supposed to at 168 in that transitional division in boxing. And he didn't leave 168 until everything was completed. So when it's all said and done, this is what I'm talking about, Ross. And the shit is laughable and it's hysterical. But this is boxing in of itself. Boxing has become a clown show. It's become a paraded show where fighters, like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch, can do whatever they want. And their fight fans can basically co-sign. But I'm going to tell you why they co-sign in Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It has nothing to do with them liking him. Mexican community fan bases, if you study their way that they fanship fighters, they don't give a fuck about the fighter. They give a fuck about them and their pride and them being Mexican. And as long as that motherfucker can continue to uphold those standards, they're gonna keep rooting for the motherfucker. Let him betray that standard. Let him get away from that. They'll start talking shit. And let me tell you the added bonus reason why they're rooting for Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He's the last star Mexican that they have. They don't have nobody else.
That's it.
That's why they holding him so fucking tight. That's why they get so offended. That's why they get so mad. That's why they get so deranged when you say something. Because when it's all said and done, once his ass loses to a Jamal Charlo or Demetrius Andrade, we will be laughing at them and they won't have nobody to stand on. Who would they go run to? Little Mikey? David Benavidez, they've turned on him. So you can't use him. They've talked shit about him. Who will you guys go to? They don't have nobody. Us, look who we got. We got Tank. We got Spence. We got the Charlo brothers. Even though Deontay Wilder has been humiliated and embarrassed, we still got Deontay Wilder. We still got, believe it or not, Tom Ross, because he's still us. We still got Anthony Joshua, highly successful, highly fucking popular. We still got numbers. We outnumber these motherfuckers, man.
Shakur Stevenson. I take that back. Shakur Stevenson is the only guy I watch on ESPN.
Yes.
Only motherfucker.
Yes.
Motherfuckers can kiss my ass.
There you go. There you go. There you go. You right about that. Look at the numbers we got. Devin Haney, I don't hate my people. I hate the way that they move, and I hate the way some of them act, but I don't hate them. Devin Haney, we have Devin Haney. Terrence Buck Crawford, we got Terrence Buck Crawford. And I don't give two flying fucks, but I care about the fact that he's a brother. We got him.
I do.
And see, that's the thing.
I'll be glad when he's done boxing, because Terrence Buck Crawford, low key, he ain't trying to fight nobody, man.
No, but we got numbers. You see what I'm saying, Ross?
Hold on. This motherfucker said fighters get a belt and sit on it. Who been sitting on the belt longer than Terrence Buck Crawford not doing nothing with it?
Exactly.
Terrence Buck Crawford ain't unified the goddamn thing.
Exactly.
So he's the only one at 147 to sit on the belt. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. But you see the fundamental point that I'm making? Now you killed them with that one. But you see the fundamental point that I'm making? We have numbers. They don't. They just got Canelo. That's why they get butt hurt. If you drop a video about Canelo and you call him Cinnamon Toast Crunch or you call him horchata, you call him Cinnamon Dust, they get offended. They call you racist. They say this and that. You know why they doing all that? They don't care about all those diatribes they're throwing at you. They just mad because they know once his ass lose, they are literally fucked for however long.
The sad thing is,
and they don't want that to happen.
They don't want to get behind them.
Mm-hmm.
They only want to get behind the boxers that look white.
Yep.
Why they want to get behind Benavidez? To me, Benavidez is a better fighter than Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
He got a better jab than Canelo. They both ain't really quick on their feet. He got a better right hand than Canelo. He faster than Canelo. Why don't we have Benavidez?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I be like, fuck them, man. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, man, my problem, they gonna be how they gonna be. I have a problem with black people who talking about Canelo. Like Canelo is the next best thing to Floyd. Like, yo,
disrespectful.
Why are you talking about Canelo? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Canelo, and then something that's not as worse, but kind of bad too. Talking about Bud Crawford, man.
Yep.
Listen, Bud Crawford is a couple of fights from retirement already. Man.
Smoke and fucking mirrors.
Because he can't go to 154. Because if Floyd was in Bud Crawford's shoes, he would already have a title at 154 right now.
Yep, already.
If you couldn't get the fight he won at 147, he won with the 154 and got a belt or two there and was waiting for the fight at 147.
Yep.
But Bud ain't good enough to go to 154.
No. Jamel Charlo will tear his ass up. Jamel Charlo will tear his ass up.
Bud will get fucking stopped when he go to 154.
Man, so, Jamel Charlo will tear his ass up.
That's the thing, man. I got a problem with people who want to say Bud Crawford better than Spence. Spence can go to 154 and make noise. Bud can't.
Yep. Spence could go up to 154 right now and hurt and beat up Mel. Bud can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. That's the difference between the two of those guys. That's the difference. And right there, that should tell you who will win between the both of them. Easily. Easily.
Spence is just too much. Spence is just too much man for Bud, man.
Yep.
He's just too much. It's too much punishment, man.
Yep.
Bud not built for that, bro.
Nope.
But what Bud need to do, I want to see the fight. But
I want to see that shit too, so I can laugh at these Bud Man fans, though.
But for Bud's safety, Bud need to keep capping, wait Spence out, let Spence go to 154, and then see if he can get a couple of victories on these new young guys real quick. They ain't experienced there.
Yeah.
Because Spence, listen, Bud, if Bud was confident in his abilities, he would have been took the Spence fight.
You know what? It's smart that you said that because that's what Bud should have done. Bud should have been sitting there trying to fight the Boots and these types of motherfuckers of the world. Try to get the victories on them, fuck their confidence up, and keep himself relevant. That's what I would do. If I was in his position, I'd be a greedy motherfucker. Oh, you up and coming? You calling me out? Fuck it. I'm going to call your bullshit out. Let's go. Let's fight. And get that W.
Sade Loden said, Brian Castano will whoop Bud ass. That's the truth. Bud can't fight at 154, man. He can't get stopped by no name people at 147.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Errol Spence would have did to Mean Green Machine, man? Y'all keep it funky.
Yeah, I'll be honest with that. But that dude would have been punished.
Beat the shit out of Mean Green, man.
He'd have been punished.
He'd have punished him, man. Y'all know, but you know the sad thing is these guys don't even like Bud. They just want somebody to beat Spence.
That's what it is.
Why you want to see Errol Spence lose so bad?
Yeah, that's beta to do that, dog.
We hate black greatness, bro. You know Bud ain't great. You know that. So you look at the dude that's great, you don't want to see him lose. Who gave you that mind, boy? Who learned you how to be like that? Who learned you how to be like that, son? So you want to see black great men lose? Who learned you how to be like that?
That's a great point.
Come on, man. There's a reason why you going for Bud and you hate Spence. Spence ain't even did nothing to you. Why you don't like Spence?
They don't like greatness.
Like a Spence on a personal level. A nigga came to my page and said, I don't like how you look at the camera like can't nobody whoop him. Can't nobody whoop him, nigga.
What the fuck is this? We are Butter Beta's crew.
Oh yeah. Oh, see, he trolling. He trolling. He trolling, bro.
Yeah, what the fuck is Butter Beta's crew, though?
Bud Betas.
I got you with that one. Woo, shit.
Only reason why Bud KOs is up because who the fuck do Bud be fighting, man? It's easy to knock motherfuckers out that nobody never heard of until the fight.
Exactly.
I didn't know who Green Machine was until the fight.
Exactly.
I looked the
Bud wasn't gonna knock out no damn Danny Garcia. You ain't gonna knock out no Danny Garcia. Fuck out of here.
Green Machine up, but he hadn't fought in like 300 or 400 days. Oh, Bud almost got stopped. He almost got stopped before he knocked out Green Machine.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep. And see, and when you say that, that's a skullduggery that you got to keep drilling in people's heads because people don't want to accept that. Bud almost lost to Green Bajeen Gagoo Gageen Gagee Machine, though. The third round when he got dropped, Andre Ward told him at the end of the fight, stop arguing. They were playing, you know how niggas be playing dice and shit. They were playing dice and shit. And Andre Ward looked at him in his face and said, stop lying, dog. Your ass got dropped. I ain't get dropped. Nigga, your ass got dropped. He had to talk to him like that so he could get it. Your ass got dropped. That's what happened. He got fucking dropped. Mean Machine of all fucking people. Come on, man. That fight, I don't know how many times I got to keep stressing it. If you want to know what Spencer Crawford is going to look like, Mean Machine is the invitation to that shit. Bud should have never fell. You know, Bud stock fell after that shit. You had motherfuckers like Virgil Ortiz calling him out at the end of that fight because they knew this nigga is overrated.
Yeah.
They knew.
Everybody was calling out Bud after that fight, man. Gary Russell said, "I'll knock Bud bitch ass out." He said that shit. He said, "Bud a bitch, I'll knock Bud out, man." Ain't nobody. And the last person who called out, who errantly called out Errol Spence got punished, man.
It was Mikey Garcia.
Like that. Mikey Garcia, ain't nobody called Errol Spence out like that again.
Nope.
And they see what he did to Mikey Garcia. They said, "What you fucking with this dude, man?" Because we know this nigga been drinking all year. He just lost weight and just beat the shit out of this nigga. Errol Spence did not take Mikey Garcia seriously at all. If he would have had what's the name? If he would have had everything in place like he been having, and he would have took him serious, he would have damn near killed Mikey Garcia, man. If he would have had a combination of the rock he always have, and Eric, what's his name, Derek James, and he would have had a combination of the fucking the strength and conditioning nigga. He would have fucked around and he would have killed Mikey Garcia.
He would have killed Mikey Garcia. That ain't no lie. Man. That ain't no lie.
I'm not playing. Because thing is, Errol Spence, he's so talented, he can win without those guys. But with them together in the combination, the tandem, a little nigga would get fucking hurt, man. And you see what Mikey Garcia just lost to somebody we ain't never heard of.
Yep.
Listen, man, Mikey Garcia is different, bro.
His ass is done, dog. And then they say the knockout, he should have got the knockout. The damage is worse than the knockout.
First of all, it's damn near impossible to knock somebody out that don't want to get knocked out.
Yep.
He wasn't fighting. If someone is, it's like this. I seen niggas survive 30 niggas jumping on them just because they was covering up their vital organs.
Yep.
If you fold and cover up your vital organs, you can survive a lot of shit.
Yeah, everything else gonna be fucked. They probably gonna stump on your nuts. They'll stump on everything else. But you'll be all right. You live.
Only in the Mexican community is it a win if you don't get knocked up. He got the shit beat out of him, man.
Man.
Errol Spence threw over 1,200 punches, man. Every punch he threw hit something. Every punch he threw hit something. Nick said, "Happy Halloween." Hey, check it out, man. This dude, Terrence Crawford is. I give him about 4. I give him 4 fights, man.
Yeah.
Until he a shell of himself, man.
You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you right now. When Spence mangles him, the very next fight he's gonna lose. Yeah, I'm already predicting that shit. The very next fight he's gonna lose right after that fight.
Sad thing about it is this, and this what everybody is missing,
man.
Kev, we don't know what Sean Porter gonna show up. Because Errol Spence always do this. He always make motherfuckers get a second hobby. Sean Porter doing the same shit we doing now.
Oh shit!
But if Sean Porter might be on some sneaky shit and be busting his ass and just not showing it. And Sean Porter is really working out and really getting himself together. But he in a world of trouble, man. I'm saying y'all know this right now. Bud ain't never fought nobody who actually being that bitch fighting, man. When he fought somebody that's gonna push him around, that's gonna be elbowing him, headbutting him.
Well, Sean Porter do get a little confidence because he did mention you saw what happened in the Mean Machine fight, so I think he's paying attention.
If Sean Porter show up, I don't want to hear nobody fucking mouth. If Bud Crawford get upset, I don't want to hear nothing. Because that's why I always say, will the real Sean Porter please stand up? If he can fucking stand up, shit, Bud losing. I have no doubt in my mind. Bud, I'm putting a capital L on that shit. But the question is, will he? Because this motherfucker podcasting, and he treating Bud like Bud is a fucking tune-up. Like that's the vibe I'm getting from that shit. Like he like this ain't serious. Because when he was training for Spence, he went 12 months training like his life fucking depended on it. He brought a strength conditioning coach in. He changed a lot of things up, man. Bud do not present the dangers that Spence presents. Listen, y'all not really understanding just how dangerous this is, bro. He don't present those type of dangers, man.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, man. At the time where Floyd brought Errol Spence on and helped him get ready for the fight,
Mm-hmm.
did you know nobody else was sparring with Spence? Niggas didn't want to spar with Spence.
Mm-mm.
Niggas was like, that's like having a real fight. I'm not fucking with that nigga. Only Floyd was the only nigga said, I'll spar that nigga. I'll spar, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then Floyd was like, check this out. I gotta get ready for a fight. Why the fuck is you fighting all hard? All right, I got you for your ass. Come back. Come back. Since I know it's a real fight now, bring your ass back. You know
yeah, bring it back. Y'all run that shit back.
Yeah, right. Because you know what I'm saying? Think about this shit, man. Nobody was trying to spar with this nigga besides the Charlos. That's because they in the same camp.
That's because Spence had that Kobe moment, dog. When Kobe had that moment with Jordan, it was like, I'm going to maximize this opportunity. Fuck that shit.
You understand that, man. So you think a little nigga like Terrence Crawford stand a chance? That's what people not understanding. Sean Porter probably in his mind thinking like, bro, this nigga don't hit like Spence.
I'm gonna tell you like this,
and
I don't think we. You remember when we did our super chess match with that?
Yeah.
What people don't realize is when Floyd sparred Earl, go look at what he did to Robert Guerrero. That tells you everything you need to know. And when Earl sparred Floyd, Earl had a knockout, the fastest knockout of his career with an opponent that he fought. So that just tells you everything you need to know about how that sparring match went down. That was actually one of Floyd's physically in his older years. That was one of his best performances. The fight against Robert Guerrero.
hey, click on Sade Loaded. She said, she said Sean Porter trade for Earl the same way Rocky trade for Ivan Drago. That's the thing. That's a slap in the face to. That's a slap
Bud.
To Bud.
Yep.
That go to show you that he don't honor Bud like that. Yeah, understand? Sean Porter probably thinking like, bro, this nigga can't knock me out, man. This nigga can't fuck with me. I'm finna bully him. That's what I'm saying. Sean Porter coming that bitch on some football shit, and Bud don't like no pressure, man. Bud want to sit and think about what he gonna do next.
Yep.
And he already trying to play mental games. Now, people understand that Sean Porter could box. He don't got to rely on football tactics. Your bitch ass out here, nigga. You don't want him to on that bulldozer and shit. You want him to try to box because you know you got a box, Sean. But you know you can't outfight him.
Man, Bernard Gaines told the truth. He said Floyd knew Earl is the new era. After he left, Earl would beat the brakes off of Bud. It won't even be close. Facts.
Hey, check this out, man. Check this out. This nigga Bud don't even have the confidence he's supposed to be having going into this shit. If you saying you supposed to be fighting Errol Spence for undisputed, you supposed to be talking cash money shit like, man, that motherfucker Sean Porter can't fuck with me, man. I'm gonna stop Sean Porter, man. He ain't saying nothing. So he's talking all. He's like, man, I respect Sean Porter's skill. This is gonna be a tough record. Yeah, nigga, we know it's gonna be a tough record.
Exactly.
We know. And listen. This will be sweet poetic justice if Sean Porter pulled up this upset. What that's gonna do? That's gonna separate the weak from the strong for real. Niggas like Ronald Finkley gonna be looking crazy.
Oh yeah, they gonna be mad. He gonna be mad. He gonna be mad. Ronald Finkley not gonna show himself for 6 months though. He gonna be hot. He gonna know then. Shit, this motherfucker wasn't ready for Spence, boy. He gonna know then.
If Sean Porter win that fight, he's supposed to lose. But if Sean Porter win that fight, I'm making a video every day for a whole month, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm making a video every day, counting Terrence Crawford, man.
Sean Porter win that fight, Bud getting a mini series of how garbage he is, though.
Cause this motherfucker he deserves 50-50.
My goodness, 50-50 my ass.
Bro, think about it. A contract is like a marriage, right?
And
I'm gonna say something. Loading probably not gonna like. Contract is like a marriage. Bud asking Errol Spence for 50-50. That's like you being a Fortune 500 CEO and a woman who worked at McDonald's you married talking about she deserves 50-50. Like,
that ain't gonna
you
work.
ain't got nothing when I met you.
Yep.
How the fuck you deserve 50-50? You better do what the fuck I tell you to do.
That's it. That's
You
it.
ain't got nothing. You want to go your ass back to that McDonald's? I'll drop your ass back off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to take that 60-40 split and get the fight over with, man.
That's it.
If he lose this fight, oh my God.
And this is why Bud is stupid. Because if he would have took the 60-40, then in life you got to learn when you the B side to just take the B side and then hope that and taking the B side you can see if you can get the A side. If you are truly better than Spence, take the 40%. And if you beat Spence, you automatically become the cash cow. That's it. From that point on, there's no looking back.
Right. You got to understand, he don't think he could beat Spence. If he thought he could beat Spence, he wouldn't be trying to get retirement fund.
Yep.
He was trying to get enough money to retire off of.
Exactly. And then he kept making excuses. Well, I'm 50-50, so if I don't get 50-50, the fight's not happening. That's what you call advanced level ducking.
He was ducking.
He was ducking. Let's just keep it real. See, Budman fans don't want to admit that. He was ducking.
Let's be honest, man.
Because we know damn well he ain't worth even 40%.
Two niggas.
We know it.
Two niggas been holding up the welterweight division. That was Manny Pacquiao, because he's going to be a senator. Bud Crawford. You can't say the nigga who got unified belts is holding it up. He's doing his part. He's winning.
Exactly. And that's why I'm glad Ugas. That was one of the happiest days of my life when Ugas beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao.
Bro, man.
That was one of the happiest days of my fucking life, dog.
I dropped that video and then and a Filipino nigga was like, "That's why you eat chicken."
Yeah, I had one tell me that's why you eat watermelon or some shit. I told you, man.
He's like, "That's why you eat chicken." I said, "Man, I like chicken, man. What's wrong with that?" He said, "Yeah, that's all you eating chicken. That's because you ain't bad again." You know,
that's these Mexican community fan bases for you. They will reveal their ugly heads. They will always show their ugly heads when it matters, man.
Ugas beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, he said it was beautiful how Ugas made Manny look. Dog, I was watching that shit there. That shit was beautiful. Watching Ugas just land. Honestly, Ross, I'm gonna say this. This nigga gonna say, here go that nigga be a narcissist again. I honestly believe it was because I was in the building that shit happened like that, dog. I honestly believe that, dog. I think Ugas took my fucking energy, dog. I honestly believe that shit.
That's what we will do, man. That's what Keith Thurman was supposed to do.
Shit. I honestly believe Joseph Selbu laughing. I honestly believe I was in that fucking building and the building realized reality had to happen. There couldn't be no falsehood because the real motherfuckers up in here. So because the real motherfuckers up in here, the real circumstance has to happen. And Manny Pacquiao's fate was decided. If you guys watch, I was prophesying that Manny Pacquiao was going to get retired on August 21st. You know what's funny? The prophecy happened. It just happened on the hand of somebody else. Because what happened a few days later? Manny Pacquiao's being fed by Jinky Pacquiao, looking like he's fucking retired.
I think Manny Pacquiao
the way that he was being fed by his wife, that shit was hilarious. You know I had to do a video on that. You know I had to clown him. And then a few days later, we find out the motherfucker retired. That means Ugas was punishing him a lot harder than we even fucking imagine. When
I dropped that post in my Facebook group, that shit went down viral, and then I had so many Filipinos it said, "Shut up and just go eat chicken." They were so mad they couldn't even comment on boxing, bro. They had to get racist, bro.
All of them that was saying Manny Pacquiao go beat up Spence, they disappeared, dog. I have not seen them since.
They've been so quiet, bro. He beat the fuck out of Manny Pacquiao.
Man, the counter shots that he was landing, he made Manny Pacquiao look every bit as old as he. That's why they tell you in boxing.
Keith Thurman, man. You a disgrace, man.
Yep, it made Keith Thurman look bad. Keith
You a
Thurman look
disgrace.
over
And now
fucking
Keith Thurman
rated.
talking about at the end of the day, Manny Pacquiao is the greatest of all time.
Nah.
Because you
Shut
got
the
your
fuck
ass
up,
beat,
man. Because you got your ass beat. And see, this is the thing. Now Ugas revealed that the two best welterweights is him and fucking Spence.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what Ugas also revealed? There was only one other welterweight at that time. Well, not at that time, but one other welterweight a few years ago that could hang with them when he was on his shit, and that was Kell Brook.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's
it. That means all of these other welterweights are not what people think that they are. Because if Keith Thurman goes tooth and nail with Sean Porter goes tooth and nail with Danny Garcia, and it's a round robin effect, but then you lose to Manny Pacquiao, but Ugas comes in and dominates Manny Pacquiao. That tells you everything you need to know about the fight.
Right.
Man.
It wasn't even close, man.
Hey, that shit was not close at all.
And it would have been even worse than that if Ugas would have just boxed. Ugas didn't even want to box. He was all his punches for the most part was all power shots.
Yeah, they were power shots.
This nigga didn't throw too many jabs. It was all hooks.
And them bitches was landing. That's why Manny Pacquiao had to be fed at the end of that fight. Now I understand. Because them power shots was landed with precision, man.
The sad thing about it is it was so sad that when he was being fed, he couldn't chew. He was just trying to swallow shit. His mouth was permanently open. It was like his mouth was permanently open, and he was just trying to swallow shit, bro.
Yep.
And that's how boxing do you. Boxing didn't get so bad. It should have been.
That's why you got to know when it's time to go. You got to know when it's time to get the fuck out of there. But Manny didn't know when it was time to go.
Over your contract. Bob Arum is a dirty dog.
Yep.
Manny Pacquiao was never supposed to have to fight again after he fought Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather.
That supposed to have been it. He supposed to have been set for life, but he got fucked. So he had to keep fighting.
Yep.
And he had to take this unbearable ass whooping, man.
Yep. Why you think I said Keith Thurman is a disgrace to the fucking race?
After that ass I have so many people talk. That's how a great fighter goes out. He goes out and he takes a beating in his last fight. Like, no, the fuck is not, man.
Yep.
That's what boxing wants.
That's what boxing wants. Boxing wants you to go out and being fed. That's how he wants you to go out.
A great boxer don't have to get damn near killed his last fight, man.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I know Manny Pacquiao, his ass gonna come back for one more. I'm telling you this right now, Ross. I can see this shit happening. His body ain't durable enough for it. But because of all those mouths he got to feed, his ass coming back to get beat up more.
The boxing commission need to tell him no, man.
Yep.
Who the fuck he gonna come back and fight?
Yep.
His best chance is what? Crawford, but even Crawford would beat him at this point.
Yeah.
Who you gonna come back and fight?
Yeah. Prior to the Ugas beatdown, I had him beating Crawford. I had no doubt in my mind. But now because Ugas beat him up bad, he's not even gonna be ready for Crawford.
No, man. Manny Pacquiao will never be the same again after that ass whooping.
No.
Mentally, he was never the same after the Floyd.
Yep.
But he fought. Who he fought? Keith Thurman coming off injury. Keith Thurman who thought he was way better than what he was.
Yep.
Got his ass whooped.
Yep. You try to talk me off the ledge with that one. But I just rocked with Florida. I went biased and rocked with Florida. That was one of the worst decisions I ever fucking made.
Because the only reason why I did that, if Keith Thurman didn't have no chin problem, and if he could take punishment, I would say he would have won. But Keith Thurman always get hurt.
That's true.
And when he get hurt, it's bad, man.
Yeah, like that fight he had with Danny Garcia. I mean, he had this, what was that shit called? Lymphedema or some shit like that. That shit looked bad.
I don't know what the fuck he had. When Keith Thurman get hurt, no matter where he get hit, he take the whole rest of the round off.
Yeah.
It always looked very bad, man. I'm like, yo, if you can't do that in a Manny Pacquiao fight.
Nah.
Number one, Manny Pacquiao a killer if you hurt. That's number one. Number two, automatically they want him to win anyway.
Yep.
So now you looking bad where you get hurt and then you evading the rest of the fight. You taking out your mouthpiece like, damn, he hit you that hard where you can't breathe. You got
Yeah.
spit out your mouthpiece.
Yeah.
That's bad, man. The rest
Yeah.
supposed to stop. The rest supposed to stop the action and give him a standing A count when he spit his mouthpiece out.
Keith
Like,
Thurman should have never took that fight. That fight fucked his career up.
well, he's supposed to. If he's as great as he said he was, he's supposed to win that fight.
Yeah.
If you supposedly Floyd ducked you, you supposed to talk to Manny Pacquiao.
Facts.
Fucking Keith Thurman pissed me off. I knew he was gonna lose. He pissed me off that fight, man.
Man, every time,
about,
I'm gonna tell you like this, Ross, and this is spiteful. This is what I did to the Filipinos for that whole time when they kept running their mouth. Every time they keep running their mouth about Floyd, you know what I tell them? And that shit go a long way. That shit gonna help you out. I said, man, I just finished watching Ugas versus Pacquiao again, and they disappeared. Oh shit! And they say fuck you, man. They disappear.
Damn motherfucker. They be going.
And you know what they said? They said Ugas prayed to. This is how you know they didn't want to accept that ass woman. They said Ugas prayed to the Santeria, and he prayed to voodoo to win that fight. I mean, come on, man. Just admit when somebody whooped your ass.
You just got whooped. They're the worst fan base in boxing.
Yes.
That is the Canelo fan. That is the Tyson Fury. They're the worst fan base in boxing. Oh my
yeah, they are. Yeah, they.
These motherfuckers said that if you slow the fight down a half a second, you'll see that Manny Pacquiao beat Floyd in every round.
Yeah. And that shit did not happen.
When you saw the fight now, it looked worse, man.
It looked worse.
You realize,
and you know what's funny? And you know what's funny? Every time they show the replay, every round, Ugas landed something on Manny every fucking round. Every time they show the replay, they never showed Manny landing something on him. That was a beat. That
shit was brutal, man.
Oh, shit.
And people, and what Manny Pacquiao fans did, and this is why I got him. Immediately after the fight, Ugas, his dumb ass, I don't know what he was doing. He shaved his eyebrows off, so it looked bad.
Yeah.
Ugas had some swelling on his eyebrows, but that's because Manny Pacquiao lead with his head. It was headbutts.
Exactly.
Manny Pacquiao wasn't land no punches. Those headbutts.
Yeah.
But when they did that, a day or two later, the video came out. Manny Pacquiao getting fed, and I dropped that in the comment section. Them niggas reported that shit. They reported it for racism.
Oh shit! Woo.
They reported that shit for racism, man.
No, but if you looked at Manny Pacquiao at the end of the fight, he did look. He started having the initial traumas right here, all right here, though. Yeah, you can see that. Man, let me tell you something. Ugas wetted that face up, though.
I think Ugas would have killed Manny Pacquiao. I think Ugas would have killed. If this would have been back in the days when they did 15 rounds,
yeah,
he would have killed Manny Pacquiao.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If Ugas was on that Margarito shit, Pacquiao would have died.
Yeah, he would have killed Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, he would have died. He would have died. Like if he had loaded gloves, Manny Pacquiao would have died. I have no doubt in my mind Manny Pacquiao would have died in that ring.
He would have killed him, man.
Yeah, that's why I say Spence kills Manny fucking Pacquiao. Now we know that. We don't even need to question that. The way that Spence was training for that fight, if it was Spence that fought Manny Pacquiao would have died in the damn ring, man. Fuck a retirement. Manny Pacquiao would have died in the damn ring. I'm being honest with
you. Yep.
He would have died.
Hey, Bernard Gaines just said some real shit.
Mm-hmm. And Bud fans can't stand us, especially when we say he knocks out C-plus fighters. Don't get so mad. They want to literally fight us. That's facts. Because Bud always fighting trash, man. That's just it. He's fighting trash. And see, he's next. Canelo already got exposed. You know why I say Canelo already got exposed? Floyd already exposed him. Floyd this is the thing with Floyd. Floyd is gangster. Floyd will put a blueprint out on you. Now it's up to the next man up to finish the job. It's like Floyd puts you in beginning to end status, Then you got to find that next guy that's going to put you to end status. This is what happened to Manny Pacquiao. Floyd put him in the beginning to the end, and then guys put him at the end to the end. With Canelo, Floyd put Canelo to the beginning of the end. Canelo fuck around and get in the ring with Spence. Spence gonna put his ass to the end to the fucking end.
And that's the thing, man. If people are being honest with themselves, if they're being totally honest, Crawford never really beat no real stepper like that, man.
No.
Who fuck Crawford really beat to be talking about he's just as great as Floyd?
No one.
Could he be entertaining that shit? Crawford be coming to his fights and be having, instead of TBE, he'd be having TBC. He'd be having a black and gold. He was trying to do little shit like Floyd. Like, bro, don't be wearing no TB nothing, man.
Exactly.
Put Doug Crawford on your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Crawford, think about it. Look at his resume. Who did he actually beat?
No one.
Crawford never beat nobody. Y'all, the thing about it is, y'all get caught up in the pound for pound list, not knowing pound for pound list is paid and bought for, man.
Yep.
Those top spots ain't been real for a long time.
Yep.
Because if they were real, that would make sense. How could Bud Crawford be at the top of the pound for pound list? Who the fuck he beat at 147?
Exactly.
Think about it. It don't make no sense. So you know what bought and paid for, man.
Yep.
Y'all worried about that. So what you do is you see the pound for pound list, then you start trying to make sense of the shit you saw in the Bud fight and not just seeing paying attention to what you saw. What you saw in all Bud's career is him fighting people for vacant belts, or him barely surviving C class, B class fighters for a knockout in a fight that he could have been knocked out himself. You never see like a total domination. You rarely see the total domination.
Facts.
From Bud, like of a legit fighter.
Yep.
But Bud should win this fight with Sean Porter, but I guarantee you, Sean, he gonna struggle, man.
I hope so. Man. I want to be wrong.
Sean Porter do something.
I want to be wrong. But that podcasting and all that bullshitting, man, and the training ain't. It was just something about the way he trained for Spence, dog. Low key, I was looking at that training while I was always confident
for Bud, he might kill Bud.
I was always confident that Spence was gonna win the fight. But low key, when I was looking at his training and the fact that he even trained with Demetrius Andrade, dog. Like, that's how scared he was for Spence. He said, fuck it, I'm gonna go train with Demetrius Andrade, man. I'm gonna train with David Benavidez. Like, he was scared. He was scared out of his life. But Bud is like, he's podcasting. He covered Wilder and Fury. Covering Wilder and Fury is a month out from your fight. Usually when you fight in a big fight, you wouldn't be doing shit like that. You'd be training. That's why I don't think he's taking Bud serious.
No respect Bud, bro.
He's not taking him serious.
Because nobody takes Bud serious.
That's the thing that trips me out. Like, why would you not be training? Like, why won't you have a substitution? They could have had Abner Morris in his place doing the fucking press conference and talking. And they say, well, you know, Sean Porter's getting ready for Terrence Crawford. I guarantee you, if Sean Porter was fighting Spence at that time, that Sean Porter wouldn't be there. They would say Sean Porter's getting ready for Spence.
Bro, Spence a different breed, bro. You can't play with Spence. Niggas be playing with it. You gotta understand. This might be a mistake on Sean Porter's fight. But Sean Porter looking at Bud like, fuck out of here, nigga. You almost got stopped by me, Green.
Exactly.
I'm gonna trade for you like I'll trade for anybody else. Fuck you.
Exactly. Exactly.
He don't respect Bud. No, nobody in the industry respect Bud except for Bud Man fans.
Yep.
They're the only ones. Not even his peers respect them. You got little niggas talking about I'll knock Bud out if it comes down to it.
Man, Gary Russell Jr. said he knocked his ass out. He'll knock his ass out again. Gary Russell Jr. will never talk reckless about Spence like that. Never. Never.
You got little dudes talking about, man, I'll take the paycheck to fight to fight Crawford. Nobody respect Crawford, bro. That's the reason why, like Sean Porter looking at this nigga like, bro, you can't knock me out, man. I'm gonna press you all night. I'm gonna give you hell.
Yeah.
bro. I
Bud,
wouldn't be surprised
Bud,
if Bud get
I
upset.
just want Bud to be exposed in this fight so I can laugh, man. That's really what I want. I really want laughter, man. I don't want nothing else but laughter. Like I just want to laugh my ass off.
I wouldn't be surprised if he get upset. I wouldn't be like, oh, that's shocking.
Oh no, I wouldn't think that either because, like I said, to me he's garbage. So I really wouldn't. To me, I would just be like, okay, whatever.
To all y'all Bud fans, man, y'all better hope Bud win this fight, man. And y'all better hope he
Mhm.
win this fight in devastating fashion because
Yep.
he's saying he ready for Errol Spence. Last time I checked, Errol Spence dropped Sean Porter's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man. If he struggle in this fight, or if he loses, oh man, I'm having a field day.
Even if he loses, you know what? A draw would be a loss, a heavily big loss for him too. If they turn around and say this fight is a draw,
The draw is
I'd
a
be
loss.
laughing. I'll be laughing. I'd be laughing my ass off if they say it's a draw.
A draw is a loss for Bud Crawford, man.
Yes, it is.
Because Bud Crawford is being touted the next Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Exactly. And if you listen to Bomac, in the first half of the fight, it's going to be competitive, but in the second half, Bud's going to separate it. You're going to see the separation. You're going to just see how much more skills Bud has over Sean Porter. Okay, and all of these people, this fight right here is going to shut up a lot of people that are Bud Man fans if Terrence Bud Crawford cannot get the job done. And I don't expect him to get the job done because for me, if Sean Porter's fighting the way that he's supposed to, how the hell is he going to get the job done if you got somebody constantly in your face? That's like a pit bull that's constantly there. Sean Porter can't try to be cute, man. This
In the
ain't
first
this
three
fight.
rounds, we don't know if Sean Porter came to fight or if he came to lay down. If
This,
Sean Porter comes to this fight and he tried to jab those little ass arms,
yeah,
he laying down.
he
But if he
can't.
come
He
in that
can't
bitch
do that.
and duck his head down and put this nigga against the ropes and start fighting him, then you know he there.
He can't do that. Sean Porter got to throw those fucking headbutts like he did Andre Berto. Remember, Sean Porter did Andre Berto dirty, boy. Sean Porter got to do that. He got to come in with the headbutts. He got to come in with the roughhousing. He got to come in with I'm in your chest the whole fucking fight.
That ref in the Andre Berto fight was one of the worst refs I ever seen, bro.
Yep.
That's how you know Sean Porter is favorite. They like Sean Porter in boxing.
Yep.
They like to sell out niggas because he did the same thing with Adrian Broner too.
Mm-hmm.
He was headbutting like a motherfucker. They put a dot on so many points, but these dudes supposed to start fighting dirty too.
Yep.
That white thing Floyd always throw that forearm out. If you lead him with your head, Floyd catch you underneath your head. Like you're not gonna just keep headbutting me, man. I'm gonna fuck around and choke you out with my forearm.
Fact.
You're not gonna keep headbutting me. These dudes kept getting headbutted the whole fight.
The whole
I was
fight.
so disappointed in Berto. He never supposed to lose to Sean Porter, man.
But Berto, the thing with Berto, and Floyd took a huge advantage of that, and that's why he lost. You know what I'm saying? To Victor Ortiz too. Berto just got bad footwork. That footwork be fucking him up. That footwork be fucking his ass up, boy. Floyd took full advantage of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you come around the master virtuoso with a deficiency like that. Oh, he's gonna sit there and go like this to your girl and outbox the shit out of your ass. That's the problem.
Berto pissed me off. He's like, man, Floyd, he's just a mastermind. And before you know it, he didn't even do anything, and he won the round. I'm like, motherfucker, he did a lot. He was whooping your ass. What are you talking about?
He did a lot. He clowned you.
He hit your ass with so many punches in that fight. It didn't make no sense.
Yep. He made you look slow. He made you look like your reflexes wasn't as fast as his. I mean, it was embarrassing, man. And the most disrespectful thing you could do during a fight is look the other dude's girl's way and poke fun at her while you beating the nigga up. I mean, damn. Floyd was just disrespectful, dog.
Well, you know what? That's good because thing is, Berto should have been dumped that bitch. She was out of pocket.
Out of pocket for real.
You always trying to have a conversation with Floyd, try to get Floyd attention. Like, why are you even talking to this man?
Yep.
Like, be quiet, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
She wanted to make a name for herself while her man getting fucked up. Like, damn, you don't even give a fuck about me.
Mm-hmm.
You see him trying to have a conversation with this nigga won't get the shit beat out of me.
Facts.
Low key chooser. Low key. Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Canelo get upset either.
Mm-hmm. I want all the upsets this year, man. I want all of them. And if all the upsets happen, I'll be thoroughly enjoyed by every scenario, man. I would love it. That's what I want. I want Caleb Plant to win. I want Sean Porter to win. These two right here would be completely knocked off of the pound for pound list once those things happen. And then Spence goes to number 1 where he truly belongs. And then now you have to reorganize the pound for pound list. Bud got to be completely off the top 10. Canelo got to be completely off the top 10. And now these motherfuckers that's trying to build their channels off of Canelo, that shit is done with. Mm-hmm. It's done. There is no more. It's done. Because Canelo will be exposed. But I don't even want to hear Sean Porter beat Terrence Bud Crawford. I don't even want to hear Spence and Crawford. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to think about it, let alone hear it. I would advise Spence to just fight Ugas, get lineal, fuck undisputed, and take his ass up to 154. No need to fight Sean Porter again. Fuck that bullshit. Take his ass up to 154.
See, I disagree with that. If Sean Porter win, I want Spence to go in there, whip Sean Porter ass again, and get undisputed. I disagree with that.
I hear what you're saying.
Because thing is, it won't do nothing more so for the money wise. He won't get too much for money wise. But just so that, because you know what Sean Porter gonna do. You know what they're gonna do. He's gonna be like, he ducked me.
But Sean Porter can say that shit all he wants. Spence already beat him. Like he already beat him, and it's definitive. So
but thing is, then I have to hold him accountable because I hold Canelo accountable for not fighting Charlo and not fighting Andre for undisputed.
What? Spence already fought him and beat him, dog. What the fuck?
But when I got a thing, I'm a stickler for undisputed. When there's a chance to fight for undisputed, you gotta fight for it, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I see what you're saying.
You know Spence will fight him. He ain't gonna leave. He'll fight him.
He probably will fight his ass, but I'll be like, man, fuck that shit, man. Just take your ass to 154. Spence gonna be undisputed in other weight classes, man. Fuck that shit, man. Sean Porter don't deserve the rematch. That motherfucker don't deserve no damn rematch.
It's not like 147, dog. Undisputed at 147 different. It ain't 147. You got the president of the United States if you undisputed at 147, man.
Yeah, that's true.
You rare, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They be holding motherfuckers. They do not want black niggas to be undisputed at 147.
That's true. Well, then Spence ain't gonna fight the phone booth no more. He's just gonna fight.
He won't do that. He'll come.
He gonna fight. He gonna fight the way he normally fight and beat his ass.
He'll just wash him.
He'll just wash him. And he already been in the ring with him. That's what I said. Will that fight even be entertaining? Spence already been in the ring with that motherfucker. That'd be the easiest road to undisputed, though.
I think it would be a formality. It'll be a formality, but it'll be one I need to see anyway.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Truth be told, I've been secretly hoping Sean Porter win this fight so Spence can
get that second one.
Spence can with Sean Porter ass again because you got people saying that Sean Porter won that fight.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you want him to do the Castillo. You want him to do the Maidana. Yeah. Run that bitch back and show motherfuckers, hey, if you didn't catch this the first time, then you gonna catch it the second time.
How the fuck Sean Porter won that fight, dog?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, man. First of all, the fight wasn't as close. It was an entertaining fight.
It was. It was entertaining, though.
They get entertaining fight and they get ugly fight. Close fight.
Yep.
No, man. Errol Spence was landing the majority of those shots.
Exactly. I had Spence winning 9-3.
Yep.
9-3. And if you say 8-4,
I had 8-4.
If you say 8-4, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. You say 8-4.
Domination. Motherfuckers talking about it wasn't for the knockdown that Sean Porter would have won. I was like, y'all know what the fuck y'all was watching?
Watching, man. All them body shots that was landing in round 5, round 6, round 7. What the fuck y'all watching, man?
That's what I'm saying. The reason why I'd rather see Sean Porter over Terrence Crawford. I believe Errol Spence walk right through Terrence Crawford, bro.
Yeah, he would. He
I
would
think Sean
watch him,
Porter
dog.
give Errol Spence a better fight.
You know that would be that. Now thinking about that, that would be the ultimate way to stick it to the Budman fans, because they would want Spence versus Crawford all this time, and then to find out Crawford wasn't good enough.
He wasn't good enough.
And then Spence fight Porter. That would be the best way to laugh at their ass, though.
That would be the best way. And it'll show that Terrence Crawford was never at that crop. He was always at the Danny Garcia level. And the reason why he let Danny Garcia move to 147 and then fight him at 140.
Yep.
You know let's be honest.
Let's be honest, man. I think he ducked Danny Garcia, though.
He'll be outboxing Danny Garcia most of the fight, but he got no chin. Danny Garcia will knock Bud Crawford out, man.
Yep.
With that no look hook, man.
Yep.
He'll knock Bud Crawford out, man.
Oh yeah, he touch him with that shot. It's over.
He not built like Spence. Spence got hit with that shit. Spence started beating the shot of Danny Garcia.
Yep.
He ain't built like Spence, man. Danny Garcia will break fucking Bud's jaw, man.
So and Danny Garcia got beat up so bad by Spence, he was weltering a black eye for over 6 months, man. I mean, damn. That Spence will fuck you up, dog.
That black eye was unforgivable, man.
Yeah, it was. That shit
did not want to leave.
Nope.
They get to the point where I started feeling bad for him. Like, damn, man. Just put your shades back on. Why you trying to be regular? Like, yo, you got really beat up, man.
Yeah, you got to shit beat out of you, though.
He didn't pull the bullshit. He said Errol Spence was the better man, yo.
Yep, he said it.
Dumb shit. He ain't make no excuses.
He shut his dad up, dog. He was like, yo, this motherfucker beat me up bad, though.
And that's the reason why I want Spence to fuck up Sean Porter again. Sean Porter said, well, I think about it, I think I want that fight. That shit made me so mad that he said that, bro. Because he know when they read off the decision, Sean Porter did this. He said,
"You know why I want that fight to happen again, so I can clown that chameleonaire motherfucker though that I was clowning the last time around that last series. That shit was hilarious. The Sean Porter fanboy, the one that was trying to make it seem like he was going with Spence and he was going with Porter. If that shit go back, I'll be clowning his ass."
Are you talking about the dude you used to be cool with, but then y'all fell out?
Yeah.
Still wear do-rags in 2000?
Yeah.
That nigga crazy for still wearing do-rags.
Yeah. In public too.
That shit crazy.
Yeah, like motherfuckers wear that shit to go to sleep now. They don't wear it in public.
My nigga, man. Once you become a grown-ass man, you can't be wearing no do-rags in public, bro.
No.
That is a hairdress, bro. You don't wear that shit outside. What was his name?
I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. It's been that long, dog. Motherfucker in the comment section gotta tell me. I don't fucking remember, man. That's how irrelevant the motherfucker was, man.
And that was a brutal. He took a brutal L.
Yeah, he fucking did. He took and he'll take another one if that shit come back. I'll be honest with you. He'll take another one that shit come back. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If that happens, Bud is gonna get a mini series.
Oh yeah,
he gonna get a mini series. Fuck him.
I'm dropping a video or two every day for a home.
Exactly.
Every day.
Yep.
Every fucking day, bro.
Because
I told you, motherfuckers, man. I told y'all, man. I've been watching boxing for a long time. Bud is due for exposing. Canelo's due for exposing. Triple G, when they get through ducking competition, he due for exposing. All these guys that avoid competition, they know this is somebody they didn't expect that's gonna have their number, man. They're gonna like Pacquiao finally got it. Pacquiao kept playing. He kept playing. He ran into one motherfucker that was a young lion that devoured his ass.
Yep.
That devoured him.
You keep as an old lion, you keep prowling around young lions. Eventually you're gonna find one that ain't gonna be fucking with you.
You're gonna bite the fuck out of you.
He gonna see that you limping, and he gonna say, "Man, I'm here to take your shit."
Yes, man.
And he gonna do it.
You play with fire long enough, your ass get burned, man.
Yep.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to all these motherfuckers, man. You can't just box and not fight nobody.
Hey, man,
get in the fire, man.
I just thought about this, Ross. In a calendar year, could you imagine? This will give us material for eons. Manny Pacquiao, Bud, and fucking Canelo all get exposed in a calendar 2021 year. Oh my gosh.
And guess what? We do for at least one. We do for at least one of them to get exposed because Deontay Wilder just got exposed. You know how
Yep.
You know how it go. The boxer guys got to give us one of them. They got to sacrifice somebody. They got to sacrifice somebody. Me personally,
which one you think is going to be more likely? Which one you think is going to be more likely between two scenarios?
I think it may be both. We may get lucky and get both.
Hey man, if we get both, I'm gonna be happy.
It's one of the first fighters in like what 3 years, and they ain't coming down. Ain't coming to lay down.
Yeah.
He might.
Yeah, and I think the boxing mafia understand that they need Canelo to be in a position like that. Like they need him to be in a position where he has a real fight. He fucking loses, and now he has to crawl out of that hole. They don't care as long as it brings back sales, and it brings back buzz, and the climate is not where it needs to be at. They don't care if your ass is thrown to the lion. As long as they can make money off your ass, that's all that matters.
No different. That's why people then and Derrick James then said Sean could beat Bud because you can't sit there and pop shot and study Sean Porter. You fighting from 1 to 12. There's no time to exactly. So if Sean Porter come out like that, I don't see Bud whooping him because Bud don't got that power, bro.
No, he don't.
He don't got that power. If anything, Sean might fuck around and drop Bud.
But Sean need to have. You know how Sean need to come out for this fight? Sean needs to be the way he was in the AB fight, the Adrian Broner fight. I don't even think it's the Spence fight, the Adrian Broner. You know why I say that? Because in the Adrian Broner fight, he was all gas for 12 rounds. And if he had a reckless moment, it was in the 12th round. If he has a reckless moment against Bud in the 12th, Bud ain't dropping him like fucking AB. I'm sorry, that ain't happening. Bud don't got AB power. He just don't. He don't. So to me, I would like to see the Sean Porter that fought Adrian Broner. That would be an embarrassment to Bud because that Sean Porter didn't give AB no room to get off. AB was uncomfortable all night.
All fucking night. Because AB didn't want to fight ugly, man.
Yep.
He didn't realize that Floyd had to fight ugly before he could fight pretty.
Yep.
He had to fight. He had to get in those fights where he could dig deep, where he could get the intellect to say, "Oh, this is an easier way to do shit." But my dad is right in these circumstances.
Yep. And this is how you can tell.
Circumstances where I got to fight out. My Uncle Roger got me prepared because he put me in these tough ass fights already.
This is how you can tell Bud is overrated. Bud is now trying to fight to learn how to fight dirty on the inside. I've been watching the training. Why weren't you doing that? All of those other preparations for fights before. Why are you doing that now?
Bro, he ain't have to, man. Look at Hughes fighting, man. Bud was fighting niggas that you see every day at Walmart packing the groceries and shit. But that type niggas Bud was fighting, right? Niggas that you like, bro, did that nigga just drop? He dropped my mail off the other day. That's why I seen him. That's who Bud was fighting.
Oh, you wrong for that.
He didn't even learn no tricks. All you had to do is go in there, last first 3 rounds, because you know the average nigga that's an amateur only can last 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's right.
3 rounds, the Bud start taking over because he amateurs, man.
Yep.
You want to fight nobody for real, man. Bud is smoking. Everybody from Top Rank smoking mirrors. I said it except for Shakir Stevenson, man.
Yeah, they all smoking mirrors. All smoking mirrors.
I don't believe in none of those motherfuckers, man.
Let's close this shit out, dog.
Yeah, man.
All right, so
people separated the weak from the strong. Thanks for y'all coming out, man. What you got, Heknows?
Man, this is Heknows. My boy Tom Ross tore that shit up. I just been laughing and reeling the rest of the way because when it's all said and done, we need 2 exposures. We need Bud to get exposed, and we need Canelo to get exposed. We need that shit bad. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start putting that energy out in the air from here on out. I would like to see those two exposures in boxing moving forward, man. Ross has been real. Everybody that showed up and showed out in the chat has been real. Make sure y'all donate to the platform, comment, like, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all check out Tom Ross TV's platform. If you're new to the platform, if this is your first time on the live, make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. We're going to keep bringing y'all that heat and that fire, and we're going to keep separating the weak from the strong. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturdays. Peace.
Peace.